The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
The history of the Exorcist sequels is very spotty at best. They have all been either critical and or financial failures, with only Exorcist 3 Legion being the only one getting the positive respect it justly deserves. It only took about 30 years for that to happen, as it was a total flop upon its release in 1990. The rest have pretty much been forgotten about. The sequel, released in 2023, Exorcist Believer, continued the downward trend that maybe no one has any interest in Pazuzu anymore. But now it's 2024. The Devil Needs Recitation. That comes director Mike Flanagan. To know this man is to know modern horror. He has been legit for at least a decade with films like Ouija and Dr. Sleep, and episodic television with The Fall of the House of Usher and Midnight Mass. So what do we have here, much like God versus the Devil, is an ironic version of good versus evil. Can Flanagan inject life into a flailing horror franchise, or will the box office returns and reviews bury the demons once and for all? What say you? And welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome to episode 618 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein. Soon to be the lair of lost swag within the Raven Chateau and Casa de -0. We are broadcasting once again from 3 disparate locations. You know, I should probably drop that because it's been a while since we've all been in the same studio together. It's like literally like 6 years now or something, right? Five years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. It's been a while. So yes, it is episode 618. It is Thursday. Do not change the channel. You're at the right spot, or I don't know. I guess can't really call it a channel, but you're watching the right program. That's what we're gonna say. MZ, you like to watch your programs, don't you?
I do. In fact, because I own the cock, I binge watched both seasons of The Munsters.
Oh.
And,
You do own the cock. Do you say that every single time you flick the switch for it?
Not every time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, but not all the time.
Who owns this cock?
Yeah. Hey, baby, you look at this. I own the cock here.
We're going to stream the cock.
You want to see what's on the cock?
Jesus. It's kind of a... I mean, I get why they called it Peacock, but, you know, like, yeah, maybe it's not the best name.
No, it's really not.
So we just need Tubi.
I'm having fun with
it. We just need Tubi to change their name to Booby. Then we'll have Booby in the cock.
and they go well together too, so that works just fine.
Yeah, it does. Booby and the cock. Dun, 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 dun. All right, well, anyways, so tonight on the podcast, or this week, whenever you're listening to it, if you're watching live, you're listening in your car, you got us in your fucking AirPods, wherever you are consuming this, we will be talking about the film The Last Stop in Yuma County. It is a new film from director Francis Galuppi, or Galuppi, probably Galuppi. I want to say Galoob. I think of Galoob every single time I hear his name, though.
I don't know. It sounds weird no matter how you pronounce it.
Yeah, it's true. What was your favorite toy from
Galoob?
What was your favorite toy from Galoopy? From Galoob, I mean.
Galoob. I don't even remember what Galoob put out, man. They did put out some good stuff, but I'll be damned if I can remember what the hell they put out.
All right, let me take a look.
I say Galoopy, you say Galoopy. I say the puppy, you say the poopy. Galoopy, Galoopy, the puppy, the poopy.
Jesus. All right, so Galoob. So Hasbro owns them now, though. I think I already knew that, but in 1998, Hasbro purchased Galoob for $220 million. But these are some of the franchises that they had licenses to. Doesn't mean that they've released stuff for all of them, but they had the Aliens license. They had the A-Team. Nice. They had, let's see, Beat Street. Were there ever Beat Street figures? Do you remember?
If there were, I don't remember it.
Oh, shit.
They didn't have Police Academy. Police Academy was put out by Kenner.
Unfortunate. Galoob might still be around today if they had Police Academy.
That's right.
What else did they have? The Cutie Club. Wow. I don't know. Game Genie. I guess they put out Game Genie back in the day. Oh, they had Garbage Pail.
Oh, yeah.
They had Garbage Pail Kids? It says not released. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I want to find it. Oh, Micro Machines.
Okay, I remember Micro Machines.
Wow, they had Marvel Comics for a little while, apparently. Apparently they didn't do much with it, I guess.
Micro Machines were really, really tiny.
Yeah.
I mean, they were like really, and I remember John Machida did the commercials for them. Yeah.
Man, yeah, I'm having trouble finding what toys they put out. Let's see, what toy lines Galoob.
That blows me away that they had Alien though.
Wow. Yeah, me too.
Damn. That's pretty awesome.
Galoob.
There's going to be a couple of toy shows up here anyway, and I should go to them, but we'll see.
Looks like they had oh, okay, yeah. So they did have Micro Machines. So they had they put out some Marvel Micro Machines. It looks like they had the Star Trek license, Next Generation, and they did Star Wars Micro Machines. So yeah.
Wow. Shit.
Galoob. Okay, so yeah, it was mostly Micro Machines, I think, was the big thing for them. They did some electronic games and board games. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I don't want to continue to just read off a webpage, but our boy Ghetto Tim is hanging out, and Ghetto Tim says, with the Munsters, Herman always ended up making a moralistic point like Cosby with Fat Albert, aside from the fact that he never tried to serve anyone a hot Cosby. Is that true? He's never tried to serve anyone a hot Cosby?
Not to my knowledge.
And he also says, when things got a little dry, you could always pull out the Galoob.
That's right. Right about that.
He says, oh, I remember the full-scale Kenner alien figures. So maybe Kenner had the... Maybe, you know what, since Galoob had Micro Machines, that's probably what they did. They probably had like an alien license for Micro Machines specifically or something.
Maybe. Yeah.
This is the kind of thing where I think Raven Shadow would actually know, because he knows a lot about those early 80s toys and stuff. So If it's not Transformers, you don't give a fuck.
I'm a toy guy. I still collect
I'm just
toys,
kidding.
and I'm a big fan of toys. I mean, shit, look what I got here, for Christ's sake. I got the Police Academy Crash Cycle, and
Crash Cycle.
right here next to it, I got the Zed figure.
That's so good.
Because you know me, I'm all about Police Academy.
Okay.
Police.
Corny's throwing out some science. He says they had A-Team and Defenders of the Earth. I could only watch the cartoon when I skipped church. Did you skip church often then, Corny? Defenders of the Earth. I don't think I know what that is, or at least I don't remember.
I'm getting it confused with Battle of the Planets. I know.
Yeah.
It's one of those kind of shows.
Ghetto Tim has a good point. He says Kenner had the first Alien franchise, even though kids could never see it. Think of another toy line for an R-rated film. Please. Is that a new line or is that an old line?
This is an old line.
Oh, okay.
This came out in this line. Well, let's see. Well, let's put it this way. It still has the Toys R Us tag on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Was it rated R? Tim?
No. Well.
Ghetto Tim says it wasn't rated R though.
At the time when this was released, it wasn't rated R. That's a good question, because by this time, the Police Academy series was rated PG, but it stemmed off an R-rated
right?
Film. I don't think that counts though.
Well, it's still. I mean, it's a good point though. It's worth mentioning that it did stem from a rated R film. It's a franchise that stemmed from a rated R film that eventually sort of softened up and went PG-13. So,
well, there's RoboCop, there's Predator.
Oh yeah, good call.
Yes.
Evil Corny said RoboCop and Rambo had toy lines, and then Ghetto Tim said that's true. Corny, Conan did too, I think.
Yeah. I think we talked about this before a long
Maybe.
time ago.
Yeah. It sounds vaguely familiar.
It wasn't like
Ghetto Tim says, I mean, there was no F-13 Texas Chainsaw Happy Meals. Imagine that.
No, there isn't.
Imagine getting a Texas Chainsaw Massacre Happy Meal with like a fucking cannibal head in it or something.
Yeah, or a little like chainsaw that runs on that little dial that a little wind up chainsaw or shit like that. I mean, that would be great if it did. I'd be all over it.
Yep.
What else? I'm trying to think of what else. Could there have been a toy line of an R-rated film? Alien, RoboCop, Predator, Conan.
Okay, so I found a list actually. 18 R-rated films that got kids toy lines and 7 films that totally should have. Terminator 2. We already mentioned. Nightmare on Elm Street. I guess there is some Freddy stuff.
Okay. All right.
Demolition Man.
Well, I do have the talking Freddy doll right over here.
Mm.
And that came out in 1980. Oh, I want to say 1988 or 89 or 90, somewhere around there. But yeah, they were all R-rated. Yeah.
Yep. Demolition Man.
Okay.
Highlander.
Really?
Swamp Thing.
Okay.
Starship Troopers.
All
Not
right, that I could believe.
not quite an 80s film, but still. Tales from the Crypt was a. So, I mean, I guess the TV show wasn't rated R because it wasn't, subject to the MPAA, but it was supposedly adults only, and it had a subsequent R-rated spin-off film. So, but that would just be the Crypt Keeper,
Yeah.
There was Conan. Yep, Conan the Barbarian. Aliens, as Tim already mentioned. Predator, as was mentioned. Chuck Norris and the Karate Commandos. Is that based on a movie?
I think it's just about any Chuck Norris movie.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a very generic blanket Chuck Norris thing,
Yep.
probably with the exception of Sidekicks,
Yeah.
which definitely deserves its own toy line. Who wouldn't want to own like a 13-inch Joe Piscopo, just just fighting with Chuck Norris. How great would that be?
13-inch Joe Piscopo. Let me see what else is on this list. Rambo, as was mentioned. Escape from New York. Did that have a figure?
Apparently.
Oh, it was a board game.
Was it?
Yeah, so it says, let me read this real quick. It says, Escape from New York is the gritty, dirty story of Snake Plissken, who is enlisted to sneak into a futuristic, war-torn New York to rescue the president. Doesn't this plot just sound perfect for a board game for the whole family? No? Well, that didn't stop one company from cranking out this board game in 1981. In the Escape from New York board game, 4 players assume the role of Snake, drawing cards and rolling dice in an attempt to be the first to escort the president out. In an era where the standard family board game night was composed of Sorry and Monopoly, this kid-friendly board game adaptation of John Carpenter's hard R action flick was certainly an irregularity. I had no idea. I want to get that.
Yeah, really.
Jesus.
Really. No kidding, right? I mean, I remember when, with the Atari 2600, they were putting out Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Friday the
they put out
13th.
Alien.
Yep. Yeah, true. I mean, there was a lot of.
Not on 2600. Not on the 2600.
Oh, what was F-13? Was that 7800?
No, that was
it Genesis?
Nintendo.
Nintendo. Okay.
And then they also had Friday the 13th and RoboCop and Terminator and all those others. But I remember playing Alien on the 2600. And it was basically Pac-Man with a xenomorph instead of Ghost. Basically what it was.
Yeah, I can't believe I forgot that was Nintendo. But yeah, the F-13 game was Nintendo from 1989, the NES.
Yeah,
still an early game system in the grand scheme of things, but not quite Atari.
No, and not very good either.
No. I mean, yeah, it's hard. It's fucking hard as fuck.
It is ridiculously hard.
Oh, here, yeah, it lists the Police Academy toys right here, MZ.
Yeah.
So
the one that the rarest one is the Sweet Chuck action figure.
Really?
Yeah, you go on eBay; those are going for like $100.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
We know what you want for your birthday coming up. Let me read this real quick for the Police Academy. It says, much like a zombie or Rob Schneider's career, Police Academy is one of those franchises that refuses to die. Spawned from the Hard R original, the series would ultimately spawn 6 sequels, a planned reboot, and most confusingly, a cartoon with a theme song from the Fat Boys and an accompanying toy line.
Yep. And Michael Winslow is the only actor to appear in everything related to Police Academy.
That's amazing.
He's one. And it also, I mean, you have here the different action figures that you could get. You can see that.
Yep.
I know this isn't horror, but I'm having fun with this anyway. All right, so you got Zed, which is what I got here. I got Zed.
Zed's dead, baby.
Skateboard. With bobbing head and dropping pants. Okay, so his head bobs and his pants drop, or his pants drop and his head bobs. But either way, it's funny. You got Eugene Tackleberry, an armed flak vest, raising arms that aim huge weapons. You got Moses Hightower and the meter reader Scooter, with throwing arms to launch Scooter. Then you got Carrie Mahoney and Samson Dog, Squirrel's nightstick and pistol. Samson squirts water. So you got the Larvel Jones and Bullhorn. Mouth opens wide, Bullhorn, and radio makes crazy sounds. You got Mr. Sleaze with Foo Dog. Jesus. Hands go up, tie flips into gasser weapon. You got Numbskull, who basically looks like Tunneler from Puppet Master. Numbskull with smashing helmets, bashing head rams in and out. You got Claw with Mouser Cat. I guess these are like villains.
Yep.
Copter Pack whirls, Mouser grabs Cop. And free right here, free Captain Harris figure with bug-eye binoculars accessory by mail with 3 proofs of purchase from any Police Academy toys. Allowed 10 to 14 weeks for processing offer.
You should try it. See if you can get it.
Yeah, right. Well, offer expires 5/31/90. So
2090, right?
30th. Today's the 30th of May. So tomorrow, 34 years tomorrow, this offer will be null and void. So I'm 34 years off from that.
You sure they don't mean 2090?
I wish. I'd jump on that so fast.
That's awesome. Let's see. What else? Just quickly. I don't care. And this one shouldn't count. Ted, that like vulgar bear.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not. We're mostly talking about 80s action figures. It was a. They came out with like a stuffed animal of that. Oh, Commando had figure.
That's right.
In that movie, there's a fucking huge body count in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Right.
Toxic Avenger. I can't believe you didn't think of this one.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that came from the Toxic Crusaders.
I know, but it was same thing like Police Academy was spawned from an R-rated film.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Toxic Avenger. Jeez.
Yeah, I love this. Let me just read the first paragraph of this. It says, the Toxic Avenger features a prominent scene in which our hero, the titular Toxic Avenger, shoves an armless bad guy into a pizza oven to be baked alive. Someone somewhere saw the scene and thought to themselves, this would make a great toy line. Yeah, the 80s were weird.
The 80s were awesome. Anyone who disagrees with that or says that the 90s were better can kiss the fattest part of my ass.
Oh man. So here's they have 7 that should have been a toy line, and they list Die Hard, Heavy Metal, Dread, Total Recall, Time Cop, Big Trouble in Little China. That I agree with. That would have been fucking awesome. And Mad Max. I think out of those, Big Trouble in Little China definitely would have lent itself very nicely to toys.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So that was a pretty good list. I think that could actually be a candidate for another Patreon show sometime, like our rated toy lines. Although we did just cover a lot of it, but kind of funny that they're marketing towards kids, but the kids technically can't fucking see the movies, or they unless their parents are okay with it,
Yeah, I mean, you can't count it nowadays because everything's so retro, and so like, I mean, if something like this came out at the time that the film came out,
oh yeah, Killer Clowns, yeah,
and the cotton candy gun, then we were talking about Killer Clowns, but because it's a retro item, can't really do it, and it still sounds good.
Nice. That's got a pretty quality sound.
You get flashing lights and everything.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool.
It is cool.
Let me catch up in the chat.
Spirit Halloween.
Ghetto Tim is responding to we're talking about Happy Meals, about like the F-13 or Texas Chainsaw Massacre Happy Meal. He said the head cheese meal. That would have been pretty awesome. And then he also said also needed to be a Possession Lego set.
Yeah.
Evil Corny says the Defenders of the Earth was a team with Flash Gordon, the Phantom, and Mandrake the Magician. That's funny. Yeah, I'm sure I saw that, but
it does sound familiar.
Yeah, but it didn't ring a bell right off the top.
I mean, the grouping that he mentioned, it sounds even more familiar now than it did before.
Yeah, agree. And Ghetto Tim says they never had a figure of the BJ chick from Police Academy. Corny says, I think there were Attack of the Killer Tomato toys and cartoons too.
I think so. Might be right. But those weren't R rated. Those were PG rated.
Oh.
As far as the BJ sets from Police Academy, if there's a Georgina Spelvin action figure from Police Academy, picking that up.
And last thing is Ghetto Tim says, how the hell did Hot Wheels not glom onto the Mad Max series? Yeah, no shit. That would have been like tailor-made for sure.
Yeah. Hot Wheels or somebody,
Yeah. All right. So, all right. That's a fun little detour. Raven Shadow is now a half hour late from what he said he would be.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear the story this week. What do you want to take bets? What's the over under? What do you think? Speak of the fucking devil.
Look who finally decided to show up.
Heyo.
We were just gonna start taking bets about what the excuse is going to be this week.
Yeah, boy.
What'd you do this time?
I'm fucking trying, Wolfie. I apologize to you boys and everybody for the delay. But I hope you enjoyed the amuse bouche because now the main course has arrived, baby.
That's not true.
That's not true at all. No. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah, and it's a half hour late and it's cold.
It's cold. Yeah, send it back.
Don't do that, Wolfie. Bad things happen.
This is not to my liking. Please send this back. I'd like a refund.
Please send it back.
Yeah. I'm kind of like a return steak. I'm kind of yeah.
You're tough and chewy,
Ah.
Yeah.
and doesn't have any rib bones.
I'm sorry, I wanted the ribeye.
Speaking of ribs, how you doing?
I'm
How you
trying,
doing?
brother. I made a lot of progress, and then I took a few steps back because I did have to mow the lawn on Tuesday.
Whoa, no. Why didn't you tell your mom to do it? Just fucking tell her. Be like, Mom, come over, mow the lawn, and then you sit on the like on the grass, smoking and drinking while you watch.
You know, I might be an asshole. I'm not a dick. You know what I mean? I can't fucking do that. I couldn't do that.
He's like the prototype. He's like, well, he's not the prototype. In fact, the Flintstones would be the prototype of that commercial that they did way back when the Flintstones were very, very popular, and they did cigarette commercials.
Yep.
Fred and Barney would do a cigarette commercial, right?
Yep.
Yeah, have you ever seen this?
Oh yeah.
And they're about to mow the lawn, and all of a sudden Fred whips out like a cigarette of whatever brand it was that they were promoting, and next thing you know, they just go out back. Fred and Barney, they go out in the backyard and they just lean against the house, and they're just sitting there smoking on the cigarettes. And next thing you know, there goes Wilma with the fucking lawnmower mowing the lawn while Fred and Barney are laying back, just kicking it back and smoking their cigarettes.
What was it? Fucking Bedrock Mountain?
Ridiculous. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. No, but I had to. It was very long, and I was getting anxiety. Like I felt the need to have to announce to my neighbors, like, "Hey, Vin, I broke a rib.
Yeah,
That's why it's like this."
Put a sign on the front yard.
I thought about it.
You should wear a sandwich board.
Thought about that too.
broken, not lazy, broken rib.
I would actually take like Ollie out and like talk to him, like, "Hey, buddy, I know the grass is long, but once Daddy's broken rib is fixed, it'll be okay." I tried to like, if anyone heard me because they were watching me, you know. But I did. I had like 4 Ewoks in the back. It wasn't good.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
So are you able to laugh now? I mean, is the pain still there? It's like when you're laying down or whatever?
It's still laying down. I did sneeze right before I logged on, and it hurt like a motherfucker. I scared a little kid today at work. It wasn't good. Better than others, but I actually do. I don't want to, monopolize, but I do want to thank. I've had a lot of outreach from last show, so thank you for anybody that for said well wishes, and hugs and kisses. So thank you, everybody.
Ghetto Tim asks, so did you have a rib removed like the Marilyn Manson thing?
I should have. I was like, doctor, get rid of it. I wanted to try something since '85, bro.
Hey, you took it out and you gave it to Ollie, is what you did.
Yeah. He's eating on it right now. That's why he's so quiet. Yeah,
it's his favorite shoot toy right now.
Yeah, body of Raven Shadow.
Ghetto Tim also says Laramie's. Was that the brand?
It was Laramie's. Yeah.
Yeah. He said their old ladies are beating the rugs. That must have been. I'll have to pull that up. Let me see if I can find Flintstones.
And there were a couple of gimmicks. They were like
Laramie's.
cigars, cigarettes. When they were at the what was the Royal Order of the Poobahs or some shit? What was the club they were in?
Royal Order of Water Buffaloes.
The Water Buffaloes. Yeah.
Go to YouTube and see Flintstones cigarette. Yeah, he just said Water Buffaloes. Yep. All right, let's see if we can find cigarette commercial. All right. Oh, they did a Winston.
Winston. That's what I think it was.
All right. Let's just do this one, I guess.
Okay, lunch is over. Now back to work. Hiya, Mr. Flintstone.
Greetings, Rocky, my boy. Pack of Winstons, please.
Oh, you like them Winston cigarettes, huh, Mr. Flintstone?
But of course, they really got something.
You bet your life. Folks who really
You bet
enjoy
your life.
smoking know it's what's up front that counts. And that's where Winston steps out ahead of the crowd with their exclusive filter blend. Choice golden tobaccos, specially selected and specially processed for filter smoking.
Hold it.
What's your man?
What are you pitching Winstons at me for? You know I never smoke nothing else.
Just practicing, Mr. Flintstone. Everybody knows that.
Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should.
Yeah.
See you soon, Rocky.
That's why you smoke Winston's, isn't it?
I was very impressionable at 6 years old. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I do remember that, but I just haven't seen it in like fucking 30, 40 years. I don't know. Jesus. Get a Tim says smooth filtered death.
Course, Bon. Why, of course, Bon. Of course, I use Trojan con.
Hey, Fred, what about the lambskin?
So Ghetto Tim also asked, this is a few minutes back. He asked, hey, what did you guys make of the Iron Claw? Just saw it and I was not happy. Well,
Could be a plug.
I just pulled it up. Like, we can say real quick, but we did it on episode 607. Tim, if you want to go back and listen, we actually had our boy Anthony, our pal Anthony, on that one.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun. So that was a fun show, episode 607. But I mean, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think generally we thought that the movie was well made. The story was told fairly well with some omissions, but the casting was just weird. MZ, I think, had more spicy things to say about the casting.
Yeah. I'll make it nice and sweet here and quick. You know, everyone's going to bitch about Ric Flair, and everybody has every right to bitch about the guy who played Ric Flair. It's not so much that he didn't look like Flair. He just didn't act like Flair. He didn't have that panache that Ric Flair has. But God damn it, I can't say it's the worst. It's the worst of the bunch. Absolutely the worst of the bunch is the guy who played Kerry Von Erich. I cannot get over it. I will never get over it, and I will never be convinced that this was better than the casting of Ric Flair. It was not. And I'll tell you why. Because when you look like somebody that's in a biopic, you know, or when you cast as somebody in a biopic, sometimes you got to deal with the fact that, you know, the person doesn't exactly look like the person that they're portraying. And that goes with the territory, and you accept that. Mm-hmm. But when you look like somebody else that's so fucking obvious, and who rightfully, might I add, also deserves their own biopic, I think it's about time. You got to call on this guy, because I will never, ever, ever, ever be convinced, never, ever be convinced that the casting of Kerry Von Erich is better than the casting of Ric Flair, because for Christ, he looks like Paul Rubens, for Christ's sake. So you can have your dime store Ric Flair all you want and bitch about him all you want, but I am never going to get over Pee Wee Von Erich. Okay, I just will not do it.
Pee Wee Von Erich.
I just won't do it. I will not do it. I will not put up with Pee Wee Von Erich. Okay, he looks like, look at the guy. He looks like Paul Rubens.
He's talking about Jeremy Allen White. For those who aren't aware.
The magic word is tragedy.
Suicide!
Motorcycle accident.
I'm gonna give you the claw.
Daddy issues. Oh shit!
The secret word is amputate.
Amputate. Pee Wee Von Erich.
So when anybody ever says the secret word or gets into a motorcycle accident, scream real loud. Okay, let's try it.
I want my leg.
Where's my leg? Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Pee Wee Von Erich. We had to amputate.
What do you think, Harley Zombie? Fucking zombie race. Cowboy flair.
But he does. Yeah, and Cowboy Kurt Hennig. You know, so.
Cowboy Kurt. Cowboy Kurt Hennig. I think we have a fucking movie here. We're gonna do Pee Wee Von Erich, Pee Wee Von Erich's Playhouse or whatever, and we're gonna make all the characters wrestlers.
Yes.
Oh, who's Miss Yvonne? Could totally be a fucking valet, dude.
Miss Elizabeth.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No, who would be a valet back? I guess it would have to be
Sunshine or Precious.
Yeah, Precious. I was thinking, yeah.
Precious.
Get a
But
Tim.
does he look like Pee Wee Herman or Paul Rubens? I should say.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think there's some similarities for sure.
I mean, he's got a little almond head, but I don't know about that, dude. I don't know.
What? You don't know what?
I mean, I would cast this guy in a Paul Rubens biopic in a heartbeat.
Paging Mr. Von Erich.
There's a call for you at the front desk.
Mr. Flair.
Mr. Flair.
You got a telephone call at the front desk.
The Alamo doesn't have a wrestling ring.
That's appropriate too, Texas.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Andy.
Who would be Dottie? We could do the movie.
Probably
Sunshine. Yeah. Then we have Large Marge.
Large Marge, yeah.
She was the NWA champion.
Be Wendy Richter. Or Bull Nakano or something.
Yeah.
Oh man. I like that idea. Forget fucking what was the thing that we had the whole fucking thing for? The fucking splooge. What was that? How do you remember what?
Oh, Shazam.
Shazam, yeah. Forget Shazam. This is the new hotness. You notice how Shazam just kind of like we laughed about it for a couple days and then we completely forgot about it.
I forgot about it, and we really should get back onto that one because there was some really winning ideas there.
Winning.
To be fair, I did talk to Rock early on in my recovery process, and we did come up with a couple of new characters for Shazam.
Rock did have a lot going on.
Fair.
So I can imagine.
We didn't talk. We talked a little bit today, but probably not until Monday.
Ghetto Tim says the main dude in the Iron Claw looked like He-Man.
That's fair.
I mean, he did kind of look like Prince Adam with that hairdo, right?
I was thinking more like fucking Zadar. Like fucking
Zadar? With the fucking chin.
Yeah, it should have been called the Iron Jaw.
The Iron Zadar.
Iron Zadar. Make that move.
Let me see. I think I'm almost caught up. Evil Corny says Raven Shadow got his eyes fixed and can't see a clock worth a damn. Bless his sore ribbed heart.
I know what that means, Corny.
Oh man. All right. Raven Shadow, you missed a long discussion about 80s toys or toys based on rated R films. Toy lines based on rated R films.
What the fuck? That's my shit.
Yeah. I don't know. You weren't here. We're not going to just be like, oh no, let's not talk about that.
I think that should have been, I think as a producer, Wolfie, I
Well,
think you should have known.
I did say Raven Shadow probably would know what this is. And then we moved on.
Can I?
Do you remember
can I throw
tell me about the Defenders of the Earth.
Oh, wait, that wasn't R-rated. Defenders of the Earth was
No,
a team.
it wasn't rated R, but it just came up.
All right, I'm fat. I gotta fucking listen. I'm gonna become a Patreon member. Yeah, it was a team of Flash Gordon. It was basically the team of the old whatever the fuck characters, Flash Gordon and his son. It was the Phantom, and I think his daughter. It was maybe his son Mandrake and Lothar, and their protege fighting Ming the Merciless and their ice fucking dude, main henchman. And there was a sword ship, and I had those figures. There were laser guns.
Laser guns.
They had laser guns. And yeah, Flash Gordon had a dope red suit. But yeah, no, I did. I had Lothar, Mandrake. It was a great theme song. Did you play it? Defenders of the Earth, defenders. Master of magic spells and illusion. Mandrake.
No, but Corny did link it, so let me click on it and see.
Yeah. Dope, dude.
All right.
Of course, there's an ad, so let me just get through the ad first. The advert, as they say. God damn, these ads are so fucking long.
Yeah.
Out of the sky, his rockets ignite. Jets into battle, flying faster than light. Flash Gordon, Lord of the Jungle, the hero
Lord of the Jungle.
Beasts call him brother, the goes to war. Defenders of the Earth. Defenders. Master of magic spells and illusion. Enemies crumble in fear and confusion. Mandrake. Defenders of the Earth. Defenders. His strength is a legend. His skills conquer all. Armed with his power, we never will fall.
Lothar.
With our new young heroes proving their worth. 4 become 8. Defending the
Earth.
Defenders of the Earth. Defenders. Defenders of the Earth.
Wow. I don't think I've.
Jamming.
That is like that's ripe for a fucking like cover.
Right?
I gotta see.
Jamming, man. I mean, I like Mask. I think Mask is the greatest. Is the greatest intro song of all time for cartoons.
Top 5. Yeah.
But this is close, man.
There was 65 episodes of this shit, huh?
Oh, they didn't fuck around, dude.
You fuck around.
Yeah, they were the King characters, I believe. King features. Yeah.
Oh, okay. King Feature Syndicate, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
So it says Defenders of the Earth theme by Tony Pastor, Stan Lee, and Robert Joseph Walsh.
Wait, what?
Yep.
East Stanley?
I guess, probably.
Excelsior.
Who fucking sang it, though? I want to know who sang it.
I think it was Dio.
It wasn't Dio.
Yeah, that was my shit.
I mean, can you imagine being in the recording studio while that shit's going on?
Stan Lee wrote the lyrics.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Good for him. Like when you watch that, you ain't going outside to play. Like that's what you're doing there for that half hour.
Yeah, I mean, who would have guessed that Stan Lee's strong suit would be writing, right?
Big ups to Jack Kirby.
Let's see, because I'm looking at the cast. I'm looking at the cast here. Lou Richards was Flash Gordon. Lou Richards was in the short-lived series of Gloria with Kristen Jacobs playing Joey Stivic, who ended up who ended up becoming the Bat Commander from the Aquabats.
Yeah.
Wait.
Peter. What?
The Bat Commander was the voice of fucking Flash Gordon?
No. Lou Richards played Flash Gordon. He was in a short-lived show, a spin-off of All in the Family called Gloria.
Yep.
Gloria's son in that show was Christian Jacobs. Christian Jacobs grew up to be the Bat Commander, lead singer of the Aquabats. You got Peter Mark Richmond, who played the Phantom. Yeah. He played the teacher in Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. God damn, look at this cast here. Dan Gilvezan and Neil Ross. Oh, god damn.
Maybe
legends.
You know what we should do? Maybe at some point in time we should watch some episodes for like the Patreon or something.
Ooh.
Maybe not necessarily this, but of just like weird cartoons, you know?
Oh, what about like a Saturday morning cartoon block, but at night?
That's cool. I like that. We could do that.
We could do like a bunch of weird shit. Like there's some crazy G.I. Joe episodes, Transformer for MZ.
Yeah, we can each pick an episode or something and then have the Patreon supporters vote, and they can pick one as well.
Oh, that'd be fun.
So do like 4 episodes. You pick one, MZ picks ones, I picks as ones, and then Patreon listeners pick one.
Yeah. You figure the 20 minutes a piece.
Yeah.
You know what
20
I mean?
minutes a pop. Do like an hour and a half. Saturday evening cartoons.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's
Look at that. Who saw that coming?
Let's try not to forget that.
That was good, yeah. Did not see this conversation coming, I'll be honest with you.
Trying to find out who sang that fucking song.
Give that dude a record deal.
I see who did the music. I just don't know if... Okay, so yeah, it says Rob Walsh and Tony Pastor. It says performing artist, geek music. This must be a... Is this the real thing? No, that's a cover.
Cover.
Yeah, fuck that. All right, well, I don't know. Maybe Tony Pastor. Let me see what that dude's all about.
Hopefully Tony didn't pass away.
He is a singer. Tony Pastor. Oh.
Pastor.
No. This isn't him because Tony Pastor died in 1969. This one that I'm looking at. Yeah, no.
He passed it away.
He passed it away. God damn it.
Hey, just to get back into the horror world here.
Oh, sorry.
No. Well, this is actually kind of serious, and this happened before we went on, but I think it needs to be mentioned. Let's hope we give Bill Moseley a speedy recovery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw he was in a wheelchair.
What happened?
He was doing. He was riding his bike down around the town, and a car hit him, hit and run. He got a fractured pelvis, and dig this, Raven Shadow, 4 broken ribs.
Oh, he quadrupled you.
Okay, Topper. Yeah. Fine.
But he got ran over by a car. You tripped over your damn dog.
It doesn't matter how it happened, Monster Zero.
Oh shit.
Still hurts. Still hurts.
I feel your pain, Bill. I got broken ribs too.
We have so much in common now.
Yeah.
Ghetto Tim.
Maybe you could sign each other's ribs once it's sticking out of your skin, sticking out of your chest.
Let me just catch up on chat.
So let's hope for a speedy recovery on Bill Moseley.
Okay, yes, I agree. Speedy recovery, buddy. I know he's listening.
Sure he is.
Ghetto Tim says the Flair character was poo, talking about Iron Claw, and he said and Brody and Bam Bam, and he said and he said the Iron Jaw instead of Iron Claw, be the Iron Jaw as like Zadar. And Evil Corny says Raven Shadow skipped church and was able to watch Defenders because Corny only watched it when he skipped church. He said. And then he said Dino Saucers had the best theme song.
Dino Sauce is pretty good. Dino Sauce is fucking. Oh shit.
He linked it. Should I play it?
Bossosaurus, we have the power to shake the earth. Yeah, it's some fucking Dinosauces. Yeah. There were two armies of good dinosaurs and 5 bad.
All right, good start. Feel like picking up change, that dance. Wow, it's the extended version.
Yeah. Solo.
Jeez, what are the fucking lyrics?
There we go.
The saucer. Fucking shit up.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Does it get any better than this?
So.
Oh, it is dinosaurs.
Yeah, corny. That one, no, that one doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, I like the music.
Yeah, but it's the same rhythm.
Yeah.
It's the same rhythm, same beat, with the same lyric.
Yep.
One single lyric. It is no, that's no good.
I mean, maybe it
like,
changes, but that's, we're already a minute and a half in, so.
Because if I hear that, I don't know who the dinosaurs are. I don't know what they are. I know with Defenders of the Earth, I know fucking Mandrake is a master of magic, spells, and illusion. I know he's got his buddy Lothar, who's kind of like his Jerome. You know what I mean? I got it all figured out. I know everything about the characters from that jam.
Yep, that's how it should be, right?
Yeah, I feel Jace and the Wheeled Warriors had a pretty dope intro back in the Dizzle.
Still Mask. Still
yeah,
Mask.
no, Mask is top 5, arguably number 1.
Yeah, it's great. It's just great.
Although I would put the opening theme of G.I. Joe the movie up there. That is a killer track, and it is on my iPod Shuffle. But yeah, overall, pound for pound, After School Mask might be the number 1.
All right.
But what do you guys think?
Let's
Crusaders working overtime, fighting crime. Secret raiders who will neutralize soon as they arrive. Tracker's gonna lead the mission, leader, and Spectrum's got that supervision. Spectrum is his mask, right? That gives him the MacGuffin powers.
Yeah. Today.
Gonna fuck you up.
Gonna blow you away.
My mask. Got the sun shining on my motherfucking face. My mask. Rocky Dan is gonna punch you in the face. Rocky sure's got some problems, and Sam Elliott's gonna help him. I'm sorry.
Wow. Oh man. Courtney posted a South Park gif of Cartman saying, "Screw you guys, I'm going home." All right, let's wrap this up because we're gonna move to talk about. So let's do that. All right, let me just do this thing here. All right, so we. You know what? There's a couple of things I want to talk about, but I just don't. I don't think we have time. So screw it. Maybe we'll come back to it. But all I gotta say is 34 counts. Yeah, proud of that, you motherfuckers. He's your man, huh? All right. All you. I don't think. Hopefully, no one listening to this agrees with that. Because yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Who said that?
Who said what?
He's whose man?
What?
No, we don't like him.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I hope no one.
Damn it, Wolfie, you had to get it.
Yeah, never mind. All right. Yeah, so, yeah, there's a few ways you can support the show. Number one, Patreon. Patreon.trickortreatradio.com. Head on over there. You can check out all the exclusive episodes that are just Patreon exclusive. That's it. Drop them there, and they won't see the light of day anywhere else. So you got to go to Patreon to check those out. Patreon.trickortreatradio.com. We will be recording a new episode soon. Maybe not this weekend, maybe next. I'll talk to you guys off air, and we'll figure that out. So give that a look, patreon.trickortreatradio.com. And you can go to trickortreatradio.com, go to the main page, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo, click on it. It's going to bring you to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link. So everything you buy in that session gets attributed to us. It doesn't cost them any extra, Michael Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to not be indicted.
That's true. Like if you use our Amazon link, you will not be indicted.
We're pretty sure.
Well, maybe, yeah. I mean, there's a good chance. There's a good chance.
We're not positive.
But there's an asterisk because you also can't break the law. Like that's sort of like you know, as long as you don't break the law.
Yeah, we're pretty sure. Yeah.
So check that out, and then also on trickortreatradio.com, you can click on store. It's going to bring you to the digital store, and from there you can go ahead and check out the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio volumes 1 through 3. It's a nice little sampler of the early years of the show. If you guys haven't heard that or want to hear that, you can go ahead and give it a purchase and give it a listen. All right. It is now time for a break. And before we do that, though, Michael Raven Shadow is going to tell you what he did to prepare to talk about this movie, The Last Stop in Yuma County.
Oh, I kind of went away, Johnny. I had to go heal up. You know, it was kind of like the scene in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, 1991, you know, where he got fucked up by a bunch of ninjas, like Raphael, and had to go to the farm, you know. So we went down to the safe house. I just sat in a tub, healed up, and then hung out with my parents at their club. And oddly enough, it was Memorial Day, right? Memorial Day. And I was wearing a shirt that my dad had given me of his boat, the USS Coral Sea, right? So I'm wearing a USS Coral Sea shirt, and I actually had my grandfather's dog tags like hanging out on my shirt. And I was meeting some of the old timers down there. So we're talking all raw. And I shake one guy's hand, right? And an older brother. And he's like, give me the whole like, dap handshake. And he's like, oh, thank you for your service. And I'm like, oh, no. And I had the realization like, oh, my goodness, this looks like, I'm like, no, it's my dad's. It's by proxy. I'm too funny to carry a gun. So I had to like preface that. Well, I'm just wearing the T-shirt. So after that awkward moment and some prescription pain medicine, you better believe I strapped on.
I'm Alex West.
I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, the bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music,
pants,
quoting video games that don't have dialogues,
shabibans,
tasty news,
unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia,
butt breathers, uncomfortable nature facts,
or how to install a Samoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Reductopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we? We sure do.
So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
like me,
worry not, gentle listener. Next week we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Inebriard Podcast Network, with new episodes out every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify,
I'm
Stitcher,
Alex West.
or
I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories.
With your hosts John,
Josh,
and Luke.
We have action,
horror,
and adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
A podcast for the barbarian at heart.
I'm Mike Allred. For the gidgiest listening experience, you got to check out Trick or Treat Radio.
And we are back on Trick or Treat Radio. And it is time for us to discuss a movie. And our featured film discussion for the week is the film The Last Stop in Yuma County. And this film is rated R. I wonder if we'll have a toy line eventually. Speaking of rated R films.
It's got enough characters for it to happen.
It does, yeah, that's true. And they have most of them have accessories. Could see that. Yeah.
Usually of the firearm variety, but
well, there's Japanese cutlery.
Yep.
Vernon, who's played by Faison Love, would have maybe come with a telephone and a dog companion.
Yep.
I could see that. All right. Maybe we'll get more into that if other ideas come. But this film is rated R. It is 90 minutes. And it is a crime thriller that is written and directed by Francis Galuppi. And we'll talk a little about Francis in a moment. The film stars Jim Cummings as the knife salesman, Faison Love as Vernon, Jocelyn Donahue as Charlotte, Michael Abbott Jr. as Charlie. Thought I recognized Michael Abbott Jr. That's okay. That's shit. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't pick up on that, but that was the dude from The Dark and the Wicked. Do you guys remember he checked out our show and we like added him to the call for like a few minutes, like 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
Yeah. Which guy?
He was the sheriff.
Oh, he was cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. I should have tagged him on Twitter, but I didn't even realize that he was even in this. I didn't recognize him. That's so funny. Yeah,
he was dope. Yeah, he was a cool guy, man.
Michael Abbott Jr. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Damn it.
He ended up calling into the show. We also had Matt McVeigh, Robert Broski, Nicholas Logan, Richard Brake, Barbara Crampton, Gene Jones, Robin Bartlett, Connor Paolo, Sierra McCormick, Ryan Mason, John Proudstar, Alexandra Esso, and Sam Huntington. And Alexandra Esso, we've seen her before. She was the star of Starry Eyes, if I'm not mistaken. Was that the movie?
Oh, okay. She looked familiar.
Was it Starry Eyes? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. She was the lead in Starry Eyes. She was in Tales of Halloween. She was in Beyond the Gates VHS board game commercial.
Yes, that was good.
And Dr. Sleep. She played Wendy Torrance in Dr. Sleep.
Wow.
Yeah. And then she was also in a lot of those Flanagan shows, Midnight Mass, Midnight Club, and Fall of the House of Usher. She was in one episode of that. So, yeah, she
kind of nicely ties into the intro that I had. So,
it did, yeah. So she was the wife at the end, like almost at the very end, the last people who show up. Yeah, that was her. And so let's talk a little bit about Francis Galuppi, the director. Francis, not familiar with him, and mostly because this is his first feature. So he's directed some shorts, and he also did some music videos, and this is his first feature film. And his second feature film is going to be an untitled Evil Dead project. So apparently,
is everyone getting attached to Evil Dead or something? What?
Well, that's why we did this, because last week we did Infested with Sebastian Vanacek, and so he got pulled in to do an Evil Dead movie, and then I decided to pick this movie instead of a couple others because I wanted to tie it into that whole thing. So we did two movies in consecutive weeks in which the director will be helming an Evil Dead film. So that's what kind of put it over the top. I just thought it'd be interesting. And so he's doing an untitled Evil Dead film, and apparently Sam Raimi saw this film, loved it, and got in touch with him and wanted him to helm an Evil Dead picture. And I think if I recall, I read it a while ago, but I think if I recall, it was because of like the tension and the writing and just kind of the situations that he put characters in and things like that he thought really kind of stood out, I think. So pretty cool for Mr. Galuppi to to have that. Makes his first fucking feature, then Sam Raimi's like, "Hey kid, what are you up to?"
It's one of those like, yeah, I'm gonna make a movie. And then wouldn't it be awesome if Sam Raimi saw this and like got me to make an Army of Darkness movie.
People were like,
one of
"You're
those,
fucking crazy, dude. No way."
Yeah.
But
Dude,
apparently,
that'll never happen.
Yeah, it'll never happen. But apparently, it did. So good for Mr. Galuppi. And he's got a pretty damn good cast of like genre stalwarts, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, as we named a bunch of them, Jocelyn Donahue, she, I feel, is so underutilized. Like she was so fucking good in House of the Devil. Fucking love that movie so much, and she is so good in it. And I'm just kind of like, why isn't she in more stuff? I just don't get it. I mean, maybe she is, and we're just not seeing it. Maybe she's in some. I think she's done some TV stuff. I'm going to take a quick look. Oh, she was in that movie. She was in Dr. Sleep as well. And she was in, what was that movie? Off Season. That was the one from,
okay.
Was that the Mickey Keating one? Yeah, that was the Mickey Keating picture on the island.
Yeah, over the bridge.
Yep, exactly.
The mother passed away, go and deal with the estate.
Yep. Cool movie. Mickey Keating. So she has done some stuff here and there, but for the most part, I feel like she's pretty underutilized. She was in Dr. Sleep too, as well. I forgot.
I really enjoyed Dr. Sleep a lot. I like that very, very much.
Yeah. I remember liking it more than I thought.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's got, and then obviously Barbara Crampton, who, I mean, it's just fun to see her, but I actually feel like she's kind of miscast in this.
Oh, shit.
She was the
Because you feel like
sheriff's assistant.
Deserves a bigger role.
Well, not necessarily a bigger role, but just playing like an assistant. Like, I just feel like it's not really using her strengths.
Holy, let's unpack that.
It's like, maybe it has to do with her schedule and she fit it in there, because it wasn't a very large role.
Yeah, I mean,
and she's only in one set. She doesn't move around at all.
Right. She totally could
maybe
have.
She just didn't go.
Yeah, she totally could have filmed it in one day as well. And if that's the case, I get it. Like, if you have a chance to get Barbara Crampton, you put her in your movie. That period. Doesn't matter what.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
She looks. We've talked about this before. She looks fantastic, and I knew she was in it from last week. I did not see Barbara Crampton there. I was looking at the wig,
That's not a wig.
And it was a wig.
No, it's not. That's her hair.
There were two wigs in this movie.
Are you thinking of the right person? Because I'm almost positive that Barbara Crampton was not wearing a wig in this.
The blonde hair and the redhead hair, I feel, were wigs.
The redhead hair.
Yeah.
You talking about the young girl?
With the red hair.
Okay. I don't know.
She had red hair.
Yes, I know she had red hair. How do you know that was a wig?
I feel it was. It's not.
You feel it was, okay.
I believe it was.
Okay.
It could have been extensions. It could have been extensions. You don't know.
Why are we even talking about this? Why are we even talking about this?
All right.
Wigs.
Yeah,
what are they good for?
Absolutely nothing. Is it the political party? No, but it's fine. She looks fantastic. Barbara
Yes, she
Crampton.
does. Yeah.
God damn it.
Honestly, I feel like she hasn't aged in like 20 years.
No.
Not quite like what she was in the 80s, but like 90s, early 2000s. Like, I feel like she really hasn't really aged.
I think I dig her more now, man.
I know I do.
Yeah.
I know I think she's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
And her stock is rising. I mean, her stock in horror is rising.
So's mine. Oh, stock. Okay.
Fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Michael Ravenshadow's attempt at humor.
Yeah. And also, I just wanted to mention the knife salesman, Jim Cummings. He is also a director, and I'm pretty sure he did a film that we've reviewed. No, I think I'm wrong, actually. Okay. But he did do a movie we almost reviewed called The Wolf of Snow Hollow. He directed, and yeah, that got some pretty good praise. But yeah, he's done sort of a mix of directing and acting, and in terms of his acting, let's see. He was in. I know how you feel about this series, MZ, but he was in Halloween Kills, from 2021. So that's where folks might recognize him from. But Halloween Kills, was that the first one of this new series?
No, it was Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends.
Okay, yeah, I saw Halloween. That's the only one I saw. I haven't seen the second and third one. All right, so yeah, he was in that. But he's also, as I mentioned, a director. And who else did I want to talk about? Richard Brake. Richard Brake is, I think, usually he's the best part of everything that he's in.
Yeah.
But I think that's mostly because we've seen him in Rob Zombie things, and that's not really like that difficult. Nothing against Rob Zombie, but it's like 31 was fucking terrible, and he was the only redeeming quality in 31. But he's always like really compelling, I think, in whatever he's in. So for me, he really stands out. We also had Gene Jones, who played Robert. That was the older man sitting in the middle of the diner. He was in The Sacrament. He played like the main cult leader guy in that.
Yes, but he was also he also played Sweet Dave in Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sure this won't be the last time we bring up Tarantino in discussing this picture.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair.
I also recognized Nicholas Logan. He played Travis. He was sort of like Richard Brake's right-hand man, kind of like that idiot.
Yeah.
I recognized him. Apparently he was in, I think he had a bit part in Watchmen, in the Watchmen TV series. I know I've seen him in some other things. I just don't, I'm looking through his filmography and don't really see anything that I recognize him from. He was in Creepshow, the Shudder. He was in an episode called Within the Walls of Madness. He played a character in that. But yeah, I don't know. He looks really. Oh, he was in Hap and Leonard. He played Grady in Hap and Leonard. That might be where I recognize him.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so, it's got a good mix of, like I said, kind of like genre stalwarts and also some kind of up and coming Hungry Young Tigers, so to speak. And so yeah, let's do some. I didn't read the synopsis. Let me do that first. While stranded at a rural Arizona rest stop, a traveling salesman is thrust into a dire hostage situation by the arrival of two bank robbers with no qualms about using cruelty or cold, hard steel to protect their blood-stained fortune. All right, so let's do some first impressions here. Any of you guys chomping at the bit to go?
I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead, MZ, go.
In spite of the synopsis that we have just heard, there's very little to pinpoint that he's the actual star of this movie, because the dialogue is spread out quite a bit here. Too much and screen time, too much to the point where you don't really know who the star of the film is. And I like that. I love that, in fact, because once you start putting too much time on a single character, you have the feeling that, well, that this person is going to have something really heavy to do with the plot, or is going to survive the story. I like the fact that it's set in the 1970s, early 1970s, as opposed to having it play out in today's world. Of course, because of the technology. Yes, that's a given. But also, I like it because I think, I don't know if it's about maybe certain lax gun laws back in the early 70s the early 70s in Arizona. So I'm thinking, because of that, you're bound to see a lot of gunplay. In which in this case, you kind of do a bit. So I kind of like that whole aspect where not only is it because of the technology that's not involved in this film, but also the lack of possible gun laws that kind of boosts the energy of this film up a little bit. It's got a great setting. It's got basically it's a singular setting. About 90% of the movie takes place in this one area. 85%, 90% of it. I will say though, however, there's a lot of talk in this film about how there's no AC and that it's just as hot in the diner as it is outside, and it's like 110 degrees outside, and and you kind of feel that, and you sense it, especially when they got AC going, they got a singular fan going, which the waitress takes full advantage of. But sadly, there's no percolating sweat on any of these people, really. I expect to see a little bit of like perspiration going on in a movie like this. Say like the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which basically everybody was sweating their ass off, and very little to do with that here. So that kind of took me out a little bit. It does have a Tarantino vibe to it. This film does. And of course, I have no problem with that, but it doesn't go full bore Tarantino. It kind of stops itself at a certain point. Whether that's done on purpose or just done through however the film was being made, I guess we could talk about that as we continue. But I just feel like there is a Tarantino vibe here, but it doesn't go all the way Tarantino. It's not like he's trying to copy him or real. It's more of an homage, really, to Tarantino than it is a flat out copycat.
MZ, you never go full
But
Tarantino.
I feel like it's sometimes you can. I just feel like it doesn't do it here. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just an observation.
It's a thing. Yep.
But just an observation. But but that's how I feel about the movie for right now.
All right. How about Michael Rimshadow?
I mean, going in, first impression, I was excited for the cast and kind of got an idea of what this movie may be. I would throw out there, if you are really interested in this, I'm sure we're going to do our best to avoid stuff, but I would recommend, pausing and checking it out. I don't know where we're going to go, but these movies can be a hit or miss. Insert wherever the structure is and whatever the reason for a diverse group of characters converging on one location, and something happens. I felt myself, great sets, love the look. I felt myself getting frustrated in certain dynamics of when things start to take a turn. And by that, I mean, it's no secret that there's a gas, basically this out of the way rest stop has no gas. The next gas station is way too far to get there if you're running on fumes, and they're waiting for the truck to come to replenish the supply. So everyone's tense, they're hot, and it's like a powder keg of tension. When it's revealed that there are some nefarious people here, I felt myself very frustrated by people's reaction.
Is that it?
Well, I was going to see if you guys want to jump in and talk about that or not.
Well, I mean, it's your first impression, so normally we try to steer clear of having too much conversation, but I mean, we can chat about that in a few.
Oh, sorry, right, first timer. But yes, so
long time podcaster, first time paying attention.
First time watching the movie. So I felt myself being frustrated because, and by no means am I a tough guy, and no one would ever.
Not in your mind. In your mind, you're a tough guy.
In my head, yeah, but in reality, yeah, not so much. You know what I mean? But I get frustrated with, and you never know what you're going to do in a real life setting, right? You truly don't. But
you never know what you're going to get, Raven Shadow.
You never know.
Life is like a crime thriller.
It's true. A hostage situation is like a box of chocolates. You never know. But we see the characters converge. We see the bank robbers show up. There's a radio broadcast that gives a description of the vehicle, and
what was it? A Pinto, right? Ford Pinto.
A Pinto, I believe. Yeah, the green Pinto. So, and they come in, and so here's my struggle. When the people get there, you find out everyone's stories, and the criminals start doing criminal shit. But my first question when they arrived would be to kind of get the lay of the land over, is this a high traffic place? They're getting there when it's opening. They don't know what the regular retail customers are. At the end of the day, it's two people. And yes, they have guns, absolutely. But just because you have a gun doesn't mean you can hit something. And all the power is in the perception. And if these guys are really smart, they really wouldn't be in their position. So as more and more people converged, I'd answer my pants thinking like, these guys, you could bum rush them if you were really in fear of your life.
Ollie's got thoughts too, apparently.
What's that?
Ollie's got thoughts too.
Oh, he's pissed. I'm going to give him a hug and a kiss and give him a treat. Give me 1 second.
Well, maybe Tony Khan can push these guys. What about you, Wolfie?
All right. So, yeah, for me, I think I always like a good ensemble cast, like where, one of you guys had mentioned, I think it was UMZ, that you never know, you don't really know who the star is. We have this knife salesman who comes in, and he's there because he's waiting. He wanted to fill up with gas, and there's no gas in the tanks in the gas station. They're waiting for the truck to come refill. And so it creates this sort of scenario in which, yes, there are all these disparate sort of elements in this diner, and it's going to come to some sort of head. So generally, I like stories like this where there are characters from like different walks of life and different motivation and whatever. Like we have this one guy, the knife salesman, who said that he's going to visit his daughter for her birthday, which, I mean, and this isn't like any kind of spoiler stuff because it happens at the beginning, but I didn't really trust him. Like, I felt like whatever he was saying, like it seemed like it wasn't legitimate. How did you feel, MZ, with the knife salesman? Did you feel he was being genuine and honest at the beginning, or did you feel there was maybe a little bit of lie behind it, what he was saying?
Yeah, I didn't feel 100% comfortable about the way he was presenting himself. He seemed like the knife selling idea was a cover for him.
That's what I thought too.
Because
But then
because he was kind of
go ahead.
I was just gonna say he was kind of stumbling over it and everything like that. But when he started talking about his daughter,
yeah,
he seemed to be more calm, and it's very subtle, but he seemed to be more calm. He was able to speak a little bit more fluidly. So I feel like that part of his life is genuine, but the knife salesman gimmick might be a cover for something else.
Yeah, that's kind of the impression. Like, the impression I got was it just seemed a little far-fetched, almost to the point where it was done on purpose, where you're supposed to automatically question this guy, whether or not that's, there's a reason to or not. That, we'll kind of get into that, or maybe not, depending on where we want to go with it. But, clearly everybody has sort of like to quote Raven Shadow, a gimmick. Like, we have the fucking bank robbers. We have the old couple who, like, the old dude fucking falls asleep while his wife is knitting, everyone's sort of got like a little gimmick. And, we have the almost sort of like the small town diner, the waitress, is dating like the sheriff. Like, I feel like these are almost like kind of tropes that we've seen.
Yeah.
And then, but the knife salesman, that's one that I guess a traveling salesman, that's like kind of a thing. That's, but a knife salesman who is very unsure of himself and not a very good salesman, it kind of throws a monkey wrench into the plan for me, so I didn't really know what to think of that guy. And even like, for instance, Faison Love, who plays Vernon, he was like that fucking guy, right? Like, he was the nice guy who runs, he runs the hotel or the motel and the gas station, and he seems super nice, and and then there's like the native
Barney Fife, awkward deputy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The like innocent, oblivious deputy, and then there's also the Native American who, is very sort of straightforward in what he wants. And he was, like, I don't know, like, I feel like that was, I don't know how to like characterize him necessarily, but I feel like that was almost sort of like a thing. And then we almost had like the Bonnie and Clyde couple, right? Like,
Yep.
So we had like all these different templates or stereotypes, if you will. And then the knife salesman throws a complete monkey wrench into things because, yes, we've seen traveling salesmen before, but he didn't fit that role. So he was in this role, but didn't fit it the way you would expect. So that kind of throws like things into disarray for me. Like, I couldn't get a read on him, and I like that. I thought that was a good element of it. So, let me just, I kind of want to wrap up. We're getting more into sort of more of the minutia, so I kind of want to wrap up my first impression. But overall, I like the performances. I like the writing. I like a lot of the things that this film kind of posits or presents. And there is a theme that I do want to talk about without getting into spoilers, but I'll hold on to that until we get a little bit deeper into it. But there's kind of like an overriding theme of this movie and most of the characters. And I'll kind of put that in my back pocket for now. But yeah, it takes it plays with some of these tropes and does something really different with it by throwing like a complete sort of monkey wrench into it and making you a little uncertain of what to think about one of these characters. And that in turn makes you sort of question some of the other characters, because the way they play off of the knife salesman is like, well, this doesn't go like it should because I can't tell what he's a wild card, right? And I feel like it really like it takes a tried and true method and throws like it's like taking like I don't know, this is really a stupid analogy that you guys will probably laugh at me, but sometimes when I make smoothies, I'll put like cayenne pepper in it to give you like a little kick, you know, and it's mostly like sweet ingredients, you know, and then that kind of like is like a kind of an opposite sort of thing, but in a way, like it adds like a different kind of flavor and it makes it feel different, you know, like even though it's the same things. So it's almost like there's a little fucking cayenne pepper thrown into the mix here, and that makes all these sort of other ingredients play off it a little bit differently. So I like that aspect a lot. I think this dude is definitely a good filmmaker. I will say that. I think I do have some, I don't know if I'd say issues, but I feel like not everything completely worked for me. But overall, like this is someone who definitely knows what they're doing, and this would have been an easy movie to fuck up, really easy. And I don't think he does that. You know, we'll get into that when we get to the verdict, but I think I'll keep it there for now. So let's dive a little deeper then, and you guys just throw out whatever you want to talk about, because I'm curious to see what else you guys want to bring up in this discussion.
I guess my thing was the hostage situation itself. Taking it back to my first impression.
Yep.
So you know what I mean? Like I said, not in all jokes and whatever aside, just the reality of being in a horrible situation. Like I said, I'm very fortunate enough that I've not been in that horrible situation. But I feel that when it might be your last day on Earth, what the fuck do you have to lose? And they can't shoot everybody. You know, like I think the bank robbers who apparently did their job, they pulled it off, but it was the 70s or whatnot. It's probably easier. I don't know. But like, are they trained military? Are they used to this? Or are they just two guys who have a couple of gats and was able to make the getaway? You know what I mean? Like they knew their car was on the fucking news, gonna be found out. Did they steal the car? Didn't know they have gas? Was it their car? Shouldn't they fill the motherfucker up? Like all their power is your fear. Aside from the gun, but still, just because you have a gun doesn't mean you can hit something. You know, to be fair, there was a scene later on with the Bonnie and Clyde characters that made me chuckle when they did that wide shot of them shooting, and how their depth between their target and where they were shooting from was a lot closer than the first shot they had. That made me chuckle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's what's frustrating.
I get what you're saying, but like, the thing is, when you're in that situation, put yourself in that diner. Like, if someone is has a gun and they're threatening, like, what are you gonna do? Like, are you really gonna play the fucking hero?
Not hero, but like once again, I can't say what I would do in real life, but I would think is, are you gonna get out of there? You've seen their face. You know their shit. Like, I don't know if.
Well, they were also going to Mexico, so there is the possibility that once they're in another country, they don't care if someone knows their face.
It's so still a loose end. You know what I mean?
It's sure, still... but I think they don't really care too much about that. I get what you're saying. Like it makes you the chances that you're going to get out of this are like slim to none. So I get what you're saying, but if they just got gas, I think like if they were able to get gas, I think they would have been out of there and then just would have taken their chances. Because then otherwise you're risking more crime, right? Like murder. Like that could be something where they do bring you back into the country. Whereas maybe money, maybe they don't care about it as much,
Right. I mean, I would think if the waitress is married to the local sheriff, that's a quick thing to not shoot that person.
Well, they didn't know that for a little bit.
No, yeah, not right away, but yeah, fair. And once again, I'm not. You never know, but bullets only work if you get hit.
Sure, but I mean, yeah, I get it. Like, but this is the scenario we're put into. We're in the hands of the writer and the director.
Fair.
And this is a story he's telling. So
100%.
We could just be like, yeah, like I don't think that's how it would have gone. That's fine, but this to me was all very realistic. Like if I'm in that situation, I'm probably just hanging tight and like hoping things pan out for the best, Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say what happens when you're in that situation. Mm-hmm. Because of course, maybe they can't hit you, but are you willing to take that chance at like point blank? Within 10 feet, probably. I don't know. I don't think I'll take that chance. So,
fair.
It's like you can either rush them, and there's a very high likelihood that you're going to die, or you can just hope that they actually just take off and then leave, and then you're fine. Yeah. So, I don't want to get too hung up on the minutia of that, but the idea of these characters of mostly playing tropes, and then we have this one dude who kind of isn't a trope. I mean, to me, he wasn't, unless I haven't seen a lot of crime thrillers or Western. I mean, this wasn't a Western per se, but it had some elements of like Western, where there's like this powder keg situation. And, so for me, like I felt like his role in this felt different from other movies that I've seen of this type. And that was what made it more interesting, because I was wondering what is this fucking knife salesman? Like, what's he about? Like he played like he was sort of like innocent and harmless, and that he was just gonna be complicit with the bank robbers, even though he was the one that like recognized them first, So that's what I was like wondering. I'm like, what is this dude's deal? Like, I don't get a sense that he's being truthful about his daughter, about that story about his daughter. There's something about that just didn't seem truthful.
What you just said gave me an idea for a prequel.
For a prequel. I'm sure Mr. Galuppi is ready to take your call.
I bought into this. I bought into the daughter story.
What? I mean, I did too, but there was parts of it that just, for some reason, he just felt unreliable. Like I felt like he wasn't always being truthful, and that could just be me being suspicious of him. It could be that was all truth for his character, but there was something suspicious about it to me.
That's fucking interesting.
There's something very suspicious about him and the fact that he's a knife salesman. To think about it. Here he is, a door-to-door salesman, or whatever you want to call him, and here he is selling knives, a weapon.
Well, it's kitchen cutlery,
not necessarily used, huh?
It's kitchen cutlery.
Kitchen cutlery could still hurt you.
Well, of course, but he's not selling knives to like carve animals. It's or to kill people. It's a knife to cut vegetables.
But my point is that he's, of all the things that this guy could be selling, whether it be vacuum cleaners or encyclopedias, and this guy's selling cutlery, and he's talking about the sharpest Japanese steel that are used in samurai swords, or at least that's how he's presenting it. And when you hear that, and you think of the situation that he's in and everybody else is in. You got, and like I said, I agree with you, Wolfie, about the whole situation where you feel pretty confident about everybody else, but he's the one guy who's throwing a monkey wrench into the whole situation where this guy's not telling the exact truth. And because of that, it kind of anchors everybody else's suspicion that maybe everybody else is not telling the truth too. But what I'm saying is that here he is selling knives, Japanese steel knives, as he describes it, and they could be used as a weapon. Now, his delivery, his pitch is not very good. It's suspicious. So I'm thinking, okay, something's going on with this guy. I don't trust him.
Well, I mean, he's doing the whole Ginsu, the Ginsu knife.
Ginsu knives, yeah.
That's
I was actually
Exactly.
I was
Yes,
gonna try
yes.
and pull up a commercial for that.
Oh, commercial, yeah.
We've heard enough sound bites. Now now we go over to Richard Brake's character, who I thought was great. He had a menacing way about him, and of course he had to have his lackey who is kind of goofy, not goofy and telling jokes, but kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Inexperienced.
Yeah.
In contrast to Brake's character, because Brake was great in this. He was dead on great, and he had that menace about him. You could see he's starting to get a little older. He's starting to get a little gaunt in his appearance, and that kind of makes him even a little spookier. I can't say it makes him tougher, but it makes him look a little bit more. For some reason, it just makes him look more menacing. That he has this gaunt look about him. But it's just the way he delivers his lines and his body language. It's so good, and he's just so menacing in this. The way he talks to everybody and the verbiage he uses, just really good stuff.
Yeah, I think I just want to add one thing about Richard Brake. The thing I like about him is he is menacing when he wants to be, but I also feel like when he's very like when he's trying to talk to like an older person or something, I feel like he's very genuine. Like, oh, excuse me, like there's an air of sort of like fakery to it, but I feel like it comes across as genuine. Like there's some stuff early on when he's talking to Charlotte, who is played by Jocelyn Donahue, and then when other people come in, he's just all acting really nice, and it's like this sort of like it just puts on airs, and it seems genuine and believable, but then he like makes a face or says something really low and menacing, and it's like, oh fuck. Like I feel like he has that duality really well,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was really, really good in this, and just the interactions between everybody in here, from the older couple with Sweet Dave sleeping in the chair and the other one knitting, and the Bonnie and Clyde type couple that come in, and the Native American who comes in, and he seemed to be the one that everyone relied on. Well, not everyone, but he was like a beacon of light for several people there, where he was the only one with gas in his car. Yeah, just filled it up yesterday. And he was very accommodating, I guess you could say. Take take my keys. Yeah, take them. Go. Get out of here.
Well, I mean, he was a true local, and was a confident dude. Like he had gas in his truck. He just likes biscuits and gravy, and I would love those right now, actually. And I love the scene when Richard Brake is trying to get up in his face, scope him out, and there's that one scene where he has the sidearm. It's like, oh, How you like me now?
And then things start flipping. And then things start flipping on their end when the Clyde of Bonnie and Clyde. Damn it! I wish I remember their names. But the Clyde version of Bonnie and Clyde starts throwing a monkey wrench into the whole situation that's going on there. So
it was Miles and Sybil were those characters.
Okay, all right. Miles, the character of Miles, who decided to do something that I didn't see it coming. But
it was awesome.
But given what was going on, it makes perfect sense. It made perfect sense for that character. Now, whether or not it would have made sense for Brake's character and the other guy's character, that's open for another discussion at another time. But as far as Miles is concerned, it made complete and total sense, and you never see it coming. Except for the fact that I bring it up and people are going to be looking for it.
For sure. I just want to say this because I'll probably forget. I think what this movie does really well is that it lulls you in almost a false sense of familiarity, where it gives you genre-related actors. It gives you your archetypes, and it gives you a very familiar setting and premise. And as you go into it, you're like, okay, yeah, this is what's going to happen. That's going to happen. And then little by little, it just gives you enough of a swerve. It just turns it a little bit. Like, whatever, dollar store Bonnie and Clyde have for their scheme, they see another opportunity that they can take advantage of.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, really?
Because they tried to do it earlier in the film.
Yeah.
They tried to do it early in the film when they realized they see the Pinto.
Right. That's what I mean.
I mean, yeah, this is a couple that's on the verge of desperation. They're on the verge of desperation. So they will, and it's like you said before, if you've got nothing to lose, you'll try anything. And these guys are the personification of that, because they're taking advantage of anything that's handed to them. Let's see now as far as Charlotte goes, Jocelyn Donahue's character, she was played really, really well. She played it so, I mean,
I think MZ froze.
Straight on perfect. She had that. I did. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, it's better now. It just hiccuped for a few seconds.
Oh, okay. I thought she was great. Her performance was good. She was stoic in scenes where she needed to be. She had she was just a really good performance. It feels kind of like sort of one note in a way, because you only see her in two different ways, accommodating towards the customers and fear for her life. Not Tony Khan fear for her life, but fear for her life regardless.
Well, I feel like there was also like some genuine interest in what the knife salesman had to say, because she did come back and say, "So you going to give me that spiel now, or like whatever, So, right. Yeah, I mean, I mostly agree with you. I mean, that could have just been part of the customer thing, but I feel like there was almost like a bit of a genuine interest there.
Because she could have just thrown that right off. She could have just said, I'll just give this guy his coffee and, be done with it. And what about Faison Love? Man, did that guy fucking blow up? That guy fucking blew up. He is huge now.
Jeez, man.
Jesus Christ.
Don't fucking fat shame the guy. Jesus.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
not fat shame. He's big. He's a big dude. He always was a big dude, but now he's really big.
It's just more to love, dude. And I mean, aside from, I'm a huge Faison Love mark. And truly, aside from the gray beard, like Coney says, it don't crack. Like he looks the same. Like I love that dude. I love him in Maid. I've never seen Biker Boys, but I kind of want to see him on a motorcycle. That makes me funny, makes me laugh. But yeah, don't
what coming to America?
He wasn't coming to America.
The second one, maybe? Is that what you mean?
Oh no, he wasn't. What am I thinking? Don't mind me. Don't mind me. It's late.
He was in the Parenthood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was really good in Jaws.
What? What is even
All right,
going
all
on?
shaming aside, you want to go back to Phase on Love, MG?
I'm kind of afraid now. No, I liked him. He was good. I don't know how I feel about. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he did a bad job. He did a good job. You know, he was good in this movie. I don't know. There's just something about him that I kind of felt sympathetic to.
Oh yeah,
the fact that he's working there all by himself. The only thing he has is his dog. He says that the only thing he needs is his dog. I don't know. I kind of felt sympathetic towards him, in a sense.
yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a good. He generally comes across as a good dude. You know, he's helpful. He checks on people, and like I think generally he was one of the. I mean, there's a couple of good people in this, but I think he was genuinely one of like a good dude, and like loved his dog, and I think genuinely he was like one of the best people in this in terms of like being a good person.
Oh yeah. If I was broke down in Arizona with no gas, I'd want Phase on Love to be there and help me out. That would calm me down.
To pull you into his bosom in a tight embrace.
It's nothing wrong if he held me and I was scared, Wolfie.
No, nothing wrong with that.
You could crack the rest of your ribs.
You could put it back together. You could fuse it. I would feel very comfortable with Phase on Love protecting me.
All right, so things are getting really heated in this diner, figuratively and literally, because now everyone's starting to question other people, and now it's starting to become an almost like a version of the Hateful Eight.
Yeah,
in a way. It is, because now people are questioning other people. Of course, at the top of that list would be Drake and his sidekick. Was it his brother?
Yeah. The comment about being Scottish twins.
I don't know if that's a derogatory term.
Well, I think it was about the age difference, the deputy said, because one was obviously older than. Although I always thought it was Irish twins, but he said Scottish twins. I didn't invent it.
But anyway, I just felt that they're at the top of that list because of the bank robbery situation, and soon they start realizing, okay, we got to start doing it here. And that everybody's feeling that way. And next thing you know, and we won't get into specifics, but let's just say it starts kicking off, and it kicks off to a point where there's a lot of gunplay that happens.
Yeah,
and everybody is wielding a piece, like because there's even one scene there's a line in the movie where it's like, Jesus Christ, does everybody fucking own a gun in here?
And for me, that kind of happened at a time that it felt slightly unexpected. Like, I think I don't want to. I'm trying to be a little vague, so I don't give too much away as to when stuff starts to break down. But to me, it seemed like it was not at I thought it would have been at a different point in the movie, you know?
Yes.
So
yes.
it left some time on either side to be like, what's going to happen? You know, like, all right, well, what's going to happen now? So I thought that was interesting that it kind of happened quick and a little bit unexpectedly, which I enjoyed because that, you know, I thought it was going to ramp up a little bit more or get a little bit different. But yeah, like that kind of surprised me, which is good.
Yes.
Oh,
I felt that I felt it happened at the right time, because I mean, a movie like this can usually run.
Well, I agree. Yeah, but
$1.45, almost 2 hours. This was only a 90-minute film, so they, you know, after a while, they really had to start moving things along. So I thought the at the time when things started breaking out, that it happened at the right time.
All right. Just want to call out Mina Rose just popped in the chat and says, "Good evening, you beautiful beasts, you."
Oh, really?
Nice.
It's been a while.
Yeah, what's up, Mina? Good to see you. Or
Hey.
see your text, I guess. I want to actually see you. So yeah, I think this movie ramps up in a good way. Like the antagonists, or who you expect to be the antagonists at the beginning, are, you know, Bo and Travis, played by Richard Brake and Nicholas Logan, the bank robbers. And they, you know, I like that scene when Travis is like, "Where's the shitter?" He's looking for the shitter. And so he goes into the hotel and, you know, or the motel, I guess. And I like how he checks out the story. He's like checking to see if Charlotte's story kind of checks out, you know, like, are there any other people staying in this motel? Does what was his name, Vernon? Does Vernon you know, does he have a car? Like, how are we going to get out of here? They're trying to kind of think about how they're going to get out. But the closest gas station is 100 miles away, and they don't have enough gas to get there. And so now they're looking to try to take someone else's car and just get out of there and just, you know, get out of Dodge. So, I like that whole, you know, where they kind of separated them. And then there was some tension when the cop showed up, you know, the kind of aloof cop. And I love when he bumps into Travis with the coffees, you know. That was a great scene.
That was great too. And like, despite the frustration I may have had early on about some characters being in the situation early on, you did have, you know, other people that were there that, you know, I mean, I wouldn't want to fight Faison Love. Like, you know what I mean? He's a big dude, you know, like, he's clearly a threat. You know, and I thought when the Barney Fife deputy showed up to get the coffees, I liked what the waitress did to try to get her message back to, you know, the sheriff. I thought it was really clever. I think what she dropped the ball is she should have not just held it on one name. She should have, or could have, you know, instead of singling out.
But I don't think that would have mattered. I don't think that would have mattered.
The way things played out, you're right. But I like the initiative that she did.
Well, you know, you got to try something, you know.
Sure.
And but
looks like Mina Rose has been dealing with life-altering events, all for the best. Well, that's good. At least it's for the best.
It's very good. So big ups to Mina Rose.
Yes, absolutely. Big ups.
All right. So after everything is all said and done, there is now the time to leave the diner, because we do have survivors, and it's time to start taking this shit on the road. but not before not before there's an encounter that happens outside, and things get a little scrapey there, and it's really well played out. I'm not going to get into specifics, but it's really well played out. I love how there's certain situations where you think it's going to work out, and then it doesn't, and then boom, it actually does. And I liked how it was played out. You got characters that are put into a situation which trust is a very big deal. And this movie and this scene has to move along pretty quickly because, again, this is a 90-minute film. So this is a scene that has to move pretty quick, and it does move quick. But it's played out really, really well. You get the full sense of what they're doing here, and I just think it's really well done. It's you got gunplay, you got fight scenes, you got it's not spectacular shit by any means, but it tells the story and it's telling it well. Okay, and then you start wondering about whether or not these characters are going to make it out alive or not. Out of this movie is what I mean. But then there's more situations going on with the sheriff and with other people that happen to come into the movie, and it in the end it really starts playing itself out fairly well, because this is where near the end of the film I feel it kind of like it's trying to tie up all the loose ends, but it doesn't tie them all up succinctly or really really well. I just feel like it just takes a blanket ending just to cover almost all, not all, but almost all of the loose ends. So they use this blanket ending to cover it. And I guess that's fine. It's not as it's not as enjoyable or what's the word I'm looking for? God damn it. God damn it. I don't know the word, but
succinct.
Ultimately I'll just say it's not as enjoyable as if each loose end had its own finish. But instead there was this
I totally
ending that
disagree.
covered all.
I totally disagree, because that's the way to go. Like, I don't want to know what happened to everyone. Like, that's not what matters. I guess in a way we do know what happens to everyone, but like I don't know. Like, I couldn't disagree with you more. And I don't think it was a blanket ending. I think it was appropriate.
Definitive.
Yeah, definitive and appropriate.
Did you watch this movie?
No, I didn't. Not at all. I pulled a Raven Shadow, okay?
That's your rib.
No, I don't know. I felt like it was a blanket ending to cover up any loose ends to end the movie. I'm not saying it was a bad ending. Yeah, I guess. I guess given what we're dealing with here, it is the appropriate ending. I don't know. It might be right. I don't know.
That you cut out.
I think about it a little bit more.
Yeah, you cut out. We couldn't really hear you.
I don't know. Satisfactory ending is what I'm looking for. That's the word I was looking for. Satisfactory ending. But I don't know, Wolfie. I don't know. You may be right.
I am right.
And you, Shadow, you.
So let me talk about the thing I said I was going to put in my back pocket earlier. It's one of the themes that's going on here. I wanted to get your guys' opinion, and I will say that this is something I got from Tanya. She had mentioned this, and I was like, oh, you're right. And then we started kind of talking about it. So it wasn't something that I sort of thought of on my own. I might have come to that eventually, but what it comes down to is a lot of these people displayed selfishness. And
yes,
if you think about how things played out, like everyone, like even if they had like maybe good intentions, I think a lot of it was very selfish, especially one character's actions. I don't want to ruin it, but it's one of those situations where when the shit goes down and then there's someone left, I think we all would have had that thought, right? Like when I say all, I think I mean you guys. Like at least
you fucking assholes.
I'm not saying we would have done what he did, but we would have at least had that thought, right? Of like, oh, I could do this and I would have no problem making this happen. Are you guys all on the same page? Do you know what I'm talking about? When the shit goes down, one person has a decision to make, and the decision they make is very selfish, right? It's one that I think a lot of people would make, because you're kind of going through the motions of like, I need to do the right thing. I need to do the right thing. And then you look around and you're like, who's going to know if I do the wrong thing?
Well, that's I agree with you, Wolfie. And I had a conversation today about, did you ever hear of unschooling?
No.
Apparently,
is it a movie? Is it a concept? What is it?
I believe it's what they call a concept. And the idea is like, it takes like homeschooling, but essentially it's the Big Daddy curriculum, where if you take a kid and they'll figure it out like on their own what they want to learn.
Right. Okay. So there's sorry to jump in, Michelle, but I know there's some schools like this. There are like some schools that allow, I can't remember what they call them, but they're like alternative schools or something, where they allow kids to choose the things that they want to do. Like we know Fred Fruggles, who used to wrestle. Yeah, Fred Fruggles, safety guy. He used to go to one of these schools where he learned music production, because that's what he wanted to do in high school. He wanted to learn about music production, so that's what he did. He didn't have to take.
To be fair, he did go on tour to be in like international bands.
Exactly, well, and it worked, right? Like, so for him, it worked absolutely, and he's a pretty well known like producer in New York City now. So it's yes.
And he gave me an awesome spinning suplex. That was really cool.
But so anyways, the concept, and this is me because you brought it up, and I just read, it says unschooling is a style of home education that allows the student's interests and curiosities to drive the path of learning. So rather than using a defined curriculum, unschoolers trust children to gain knowledge organically.
So kind of like my idea behind that statement was, you would think that you would do the right thing in a certain scenario, but what if but what is also the other side of the coin is, would you really? Like, money is the root of all evil.
Yeah, like if you had an opportunity to do the wrong thing, but almost assure that no one else would know, maybe you bend your own morals, right? Like if you even have those morals.
It's hard because I may have fractured the occasional commandment, but I would still think
you lie to your fucking doctor. You lie to your fucking doctor.
Very true.
Well, you'll find many of the truths that we cling to is upon one's point of view. But I would have a conscience in that scenario. Like I don't know, like I don't know. Some things you always get found out about. Some you're gonna get pinched. Now, granted, I wouldn't want to have to explain to a bunch of 1970s Arizona good old boys, what happened, but I don't know. Someone's always gonna find out. Jails are filled with bad criminals.
Sure, but in the heat of the moment, you have to make a decision, right? You're probably not thinking about that, and that's exactly sort of like he's character is doing what you think is the right thing, and then there's this moment of, oh my god,
what if?
What I could totally do this. And then from there, it fucking it spirals a little bit more, and then like to the point where like now he's a fucking heel, right?
Right.
Because like in that truck, what we saw in that truck.
Oh.
That's a fucking bad dude,
That's fucked up, and did not see that scene coming.
Yeah.
And that was like, oh shit. Yeah.
So that was pretty crazy. And there's a couple other things that come out of that are really bad. But yeah, it's almost like when you do that thing and you make that decision, like you kind of have to follow through with it, right? Because if
you gotta finish the game at that point,
yeah,
you're all in, brother.
I'm curious, MZ. I want to get your opinion here. So I know we're talking, being very vague, but I think what we're talking about. So in this case, when that character does that thing, kind of makes this decision, do you agree? Like once you kind of like go down that path, you have to see it through, right?
Well, if I was that guy and I being put through what I was put through, yeah, I would feel I would feel like it's owed to me, But yeah, I would I think I would definitely do the same thing. Like I said, I think you pay your dues in something like this, and you got to get something out of it. And I would definitely do what he did, and he had to follow through with it, and that means taking care of anything that might stop you. But also, in a way, it was also a sense of self-defense, in a sense. I mean, because this person is being accused of something he did not do. And
so yeah, I mean, yes, you're right, but optics.
But in a sense, it's a form of self-defense. It's a horrific way to prove that, but nevertheless, the job has to be done. The thing is also when you're watching the altercation outside of and the discussion is being made between for us, you can piece this thing together yourself. The way it's being presented, you don't even have to be there, and you can piece this thing together about who is possibly guilty, who is innocent, and who might have the money. So it doesn't take a genius to figure out, who it is, and you don't even have to be there, but you could definitely piece it together. It's easier to piece this together than a Scooby-Doo mystery, actually. Those could go anywhere.
It was you, Old Man Witherspoon. at the gas station.
Yeah, and I would have gotten away with it too if I had a few crummy kids.
Damn rhubarb pie.
In our
But I would
pal,
definitely, go through with what he did. I would definitely follow through.
yeah.
Wait, what? You would do that?
Well, once you
If you knew that you could get away with it. Not to mention the fact that after everything that you've been through, you kind of owed it, even though nobody else might think so. You certainly think so. I would probably do that, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fucked up. You're owed it. Like, that's like, I hope you don't say that after going out on a single date with someone. Jesus.
Yeah.
But
fucking weird, dude. Now we know what Monster Zero is.
yeah, wow. I don't think you're owed it, but
Yeah,
you
that's-
for what you endured, and for being the only one left, I could see thinking I can get away with this. So, all right, well, our
that's up there when Ares said that he wouldn't save us when the bear came in and
yeah.
tried to attack us. Maybe take a couple $100 or something, but I don't know, man. That's now we know what I'm concerned now.
Yeah, I am too. Didn't MZ basically say he'd kill us all or something like that? And
yeah. So if I fucking fell downside, got a fucking hairline fracture of a rib, Monster Zero would throw me into the fucking river and fucking take my shit because he's owed it. Maybe not.
He's owed it.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I think I don't want to belabor the point and continue on too much, but I think that their selfishness plays a big part in what happens in this film. Obviously, it starts out with somebody being, with these two people robbing a bank. And the other thing I thought was really interesting is when a certain character dies later, he says, but she loved me. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I don't want to say the character's name. Yeah. Right at the end, someone is about to die.
Yeah.
And he's upset that somebody died earlier in the film. And he says, but she loved me. Not I loved her.
Yes.
She loved me. I thought that was really telling.
Yep.
And really, that spoke to the selfishness of that character. That is what drove him singly focused of getting some sort of revenge, and also that's why the knife salesman is interesting, because I feel like his selfishness is that he doesn't want to be a knife salesman. I feel like maybe, and this just occurred to me, but maybe that's why he is so awkward and doesn't feel like there is any sort of confidence behind his pitch and his spiel, because maybe he doesn't want to do that. Maybe that's a thing he doesn't want. So him being selfish is I don't ever have to fucking try to sell these things again.
So you're thinking he's no more Mr. Knife Guy? No more traveling salesman?
Holy shit. That might be your best one. No more Mr. Knife Guy. No more Mr. Knife Guy. No more Mr. Door to Door. That's pretty fucking good. That's good. By the way, our pal is now in the chat, although his name is the name he's using this week is not somebody I want to be pals with, but it's Donald J. Let's just say that.
Oh,
and he says, I can relate to doing the wrong thing and hoping no one notices.
Oh, goddamn pal.
DJT. So yeah, no more Mr. Knife Guy. He doesn't want to be Knife Guy. That's what I think. Honestly, I wonder if that's like where the selfishness comes for him, and maybe that's why he did feel like he was so out of place. Like, because he brings his knives in with him. They're on like the front seat, so he must have been going out on a day of work, right? Because he wanted to get gas, so he must have been going out to try to look for people to sell those to.
Well, I think he was. I mean, he was on his way back home to the
Right,
event.
to the daughter. Yeah. But that's not like, because he did mention that that his ex now has like is a boyfriend or is remarried. I can't remember, but
That's why I think what you said earlier, Wolfie, makes me think about the prequel, where he do the traveling salesman. Fine.
That's the name of the fucking prequel movie is No More Mr. Knife Guy. Can we just say right now that's the episode title? I mean, I just we don't even have to have a conversation later.
Yeah, we can go to bed early.
Yeah.
No text messages at fucking 1 a.m. I have the fucking idea, Wolfie.
Yeah, Never Go Full Tarantino is out.
That's pretty good. That was pretty good, but yeah. But I think the way he was like, yeah, my daughter's birthday, my ex-wife and her new husband, like, I don't know.
Yeah, he wanted to, what was the thing? He wanted to get her, did he mention the present? I don't remember now, actually, because I remember Charlotte gave him a piece of rhubarb pie to bring to his daughter.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, he makes no money on the road selling knives that I'm bad at. But yeah, here's some rhubarb pie.
Yeah.
I fucking it's been in the car since fucking noontime.
It's been in the hot car for like 8 hours.
Yeah. His other option was a fucking pack of hot dogs and a dirty muffin. Here you go.
And the other interesting
botulism.
There's some botulism.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, I got you some botulism for a present. Happy birthday. The other thing I wanted to bring up is this movie is bookended by that bird. I don't know if it was a specific like type of bird. I didn't really pick up on that, but I thought that was interesting because it's almost like when you think of birds, you think of like, I mean, they're just innocent, right? Like, I mean, like unless it's like a vulture or like a, like a carrion bird or something. Like typically they're this virtuous sort of innocent thing, right?
I mean, on one hand, but there's some dick birds that like, who are the dumb birds?
The dumb birds. Geese?
Yeah.
Turkeys, dodos.
Who are the dick birds too?
Geese are the dicks. They will run at you.
But aren't there other birds that will like eat other birds' eggs and they're like assholes?
Oh,
They're
yeah. There's starlings I know are like a type of bird that I think it's starlings. I think they're the ones that are invasive.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a few invasive. Yeah, European starlings are an invasive species. Yeah. So there's a few that are like considered invasive, and
it's why they call foul, right?
I don't know.
But yes,
I'm going to call a foul on you.
Foul tip. But no, like,
just the foul tip.
Yeah, no, baby, I'm going to give you the foul tip. That's how fucking bird watchers have sex. But like doves.
Yeah,
John Woo. I'm saying John Woo loves doves.
He does love doves. Love dove.
Love dove.
But I don't know. For me, I think that was a symbol of like innocence, and you see at the beginning, and then at the end. I thought it was a nice little bookend, and I felt like that was like the only innocence in the movie. Like everyone else had something. Now, I have trouble. Like I don't know about Charlotte. Like she seemed pretty virtuous and nice. The waitress, but I don't know. Like I feel like she showed a lot of interest in the knife salesman about his pitch to the point where maybe, you know, like maybe she wasn't totally happy with her husband. I don't know.
I think that was pretty clear early on. Like I mean,
Yeah.
when they pulled up
When they pull
originally,
up. Yeah.
you know, I wasn't sure, is that her dad? Is it the husband?
Right.
I mean, she was obviously unhappy, like with her lot in life. Like when when no more Mr. Knife Guy asked her, you know, she's like, "Where are you from?" You know, it was like, I'm from here.
Yeah.
It was it seemed like a very solitated, not I thought I don't need a word, a very, you know, secluded existence in this middle of the Dust Bowl, where she runs this diner, and the cook wasn't in that day. Like, it just seemed very sad.
I shot the clerk.
I shot the cook.
I shot the cook.
I shot the cook.
So yeah, I think I mean that's an element of it. I kind of wish we had a little bit more leeway to talk about some of the other stuff that happens in this, but you know, we'd be definitely, you know, walking all over the fucking spoiler stuff. So I think that's probably sort of enough of the discussion, but yeah, I do think that like every character had something, like there is something selfishly driving them, even if it wasn't demonstrable. And, you know, for instance, like Vernon, like he just wanted to fucking hang out. Like he didn't even need a car. Like he just stayed in the fucking motel and had his dog, and that's all he needed. And, you know, that's not really selfish, really, I don't think, but like he had his motive, the thing that drove him, you know? So yeah, I don't know. Like I think it would be an interesting discussion to kind of break down and think about like all the different character beats and like, isn't everybody inherently selfish? But I think it really speaks to, at least to me, it spoke to sort of this country. Like I can't speak about other countries because I only know America. And I don't know if other countries are this way, but from what I understand, with the way capitalism here is in this country, it is worse here than it is in other parts of the world, that we have this sort of drive to be the best at whatever we do. Like that's like it's something that's ingrained in us. Like you have to bust your ass and you have to try to be the best. You know, not everyone has that. I'm generalizing, but you know, that's sort of like a trend in this country. And I feel also there's a trend to be the winner, like to be the person who, you know, like comes out of everything okay. And I'm doing a bad job of explaining it, but I feel like just taking advantage of situations, right? Like, oh, you see, we've all probably done things like this, but like, I don't know, like you're checking out, like this happened. Actually, this did happen to me. I went to, what was it, like a Home Depot or Lowe's, or I can't remember, one of those. And like we put a bunch of stuff on to buy it. And then one of the things didn't get rung up, but got put in our bag because we were like, that seemed really cheap for what we got. Right, and I looked, and one of the things didn't get rung up. Now, the right thing would have been to be like, oh, you didn't ring this through. We didn't, you know, like go up and tell the person. But I was like, I'm not going to, you know, look a, you know, gift horse in the mouth here, I guess, you know. It saved us like $80 or something, you know.
Wow.
So
now where's that location? I got some work around the house.
Yeah,
I gotta do.
Yeah.
Where's the blind cashier?
But when things like that,
is Matt Murdock working today?
Yeah. But when things like that happen, you're like, I just got away with something. You know, like this is different. Like I didn't specifically, you know, take something or steal something, but something worked in my favor and I didn't do anything about it to tell someone. You know, when, who knows, maybe that person could have got written up for, you know, whatever, you know.
Yeah, they're fired now. Way to go, Wolfie.
They're living on the streets.
Yeah, way to go.
But, you know,
dude's first day, bro.
you guys know what I'm talking about, though. Like situations that work in your favor, that you could have done like the right thing and have said something or whatever. I think it's happened to all of us, and I think we're sort of programmed to take those and be like, okay, hey, I got to win, cool. When really it would feel better to probably do the right thing, but because of the way things are, we bust our asses, and like, we probably not all of us get paid what we should be getting paid for the amount of work that we do, and whatever, like inflation and our fucking salaries aren't going up and all this stuff. So yes, we take those wins when we can because no one else is going to give us a fucking break,
It might even go back to like all jokes aside, like about MZ's point about deserving something.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
And I think though, you could look at what characters in this film were, from what we've seen, the most inherently good or altruistic. It was Faison Love, I feel. It was the native fella, and to a point, the old couple.
Mm-hmm.
And the waitress, and forget Charlotte.
Yep.
I think that she had a crime, but she was just sad of how things played out. That was the hand she was dealt.
Mm-hmm.
But you could also look at the similarities to all the characters that may have took advantage of situations. Not that that's indicative of personality traits or whatnot, but I think just going back, like, not all the characters in this movie were inherently a negative
deplorable.
way.
Yeah, like
deplorable.
Yep.
But granted, more than they were more air quotes bad characters, or more taking advantage of situations than others.
Yeah. All right. Well, we should probably wrap this one up here soon. I feel like MZ's starting to gloss over.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to bring up? Oh, music was fucking awesome. The soundtrack that they used was, I thought, really really good. Like some good songs, like Roy Orbison. I can say that.
Yeah.
And a few other really good songs. And I know Tanya really enjoyed the soundtrack as well. She likes that. She loves that music. Yeah. So yeah, I think that was well done. I think the direction is like spot on. Like for his first feature, like this dude did a fucking great job. Yeah. There's some really good camera shots, some good angles, and it really, I think, played into the tension that he was building within this, the diner. So yeah, I think that stuff's all really good. The technical aspects were all there. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to add before we do the verdict? Not really. All right. Let's do it.
Baby, I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether the last stop in Yuma County was a trick or a treat. And any final thoughts? Let's start with MZ.
This is a well-made film. It's well acted. It looks good. It does have that Quentin Tarantino quality, but it doesn't go full Quentin Tarantino. The homages are there. It's a fun cast, it's an entertaining cast, and everybody does their job well. Again, it's a lot like the Hateful Eight. Everyone's stranded in one area, and people need to start trusting other people or don't trust anybody altogether. Starting with the giant cat, the big catalyst of Brake and his friend there. and things do start getting tensioning up as the movie goes along, and then because we're dealing with a 90-minute runtime, it kind of cuts out kind of quick. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but the ending does feel a little rushed to me. Like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's just it's appropriate for this film because of that 90-minute runtime. It's not super violent, It's not really all that violent actually. But there's good tension. I think Richard Brake was incredible in this film, as he always is. He's always the standout. But you never know who the real star of this film is, and that's something that I really, really enjoy. The soundtrack is fantastic. I was singing along to Roy Orbison's "Crying." It was great. It was fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah.
That scares the hell out of me, actually.
It was a good choice. It's a good choice. I can't say no. But this is an entertaining film. It's not going to break barriers. It's not going to break boundaries. But this is an entertaining film. It will fill up that 90-minute runtime nicely. This is a treat. I did enjoy this.
All right, Raven Shadow.
Yeah, I think it's he wrote and directed this, I believe, right? Am I right in that?
Yes.
Okay. And yeah, for a first-time effort, fucking killer, man. So I mean, he had access to a diner and a gas station and a couple of hotel rooms, make a movie, and the dude seemed to do it. I think he took classic, archetypes, and you think the movie's going to go one way, but it does have a twist, and it's worth waiting for. Yes. Is there some? Let's say there are probably homages to other films. I don't want to focus necessarily on one director that, tributes, but the swerve really worked for me. And I liked that. And I thought it was a great runtime. I liked the ending. Especially what happened to one character, which kind of was a great shot. The way it was done, I think, yeah, I'm really super excited what this dude does next. From what we hear, it's going to be an Evil Dead related, but great cast. It's worth, you can watch it without falling asleep. I did.
Jesus. That's going on the box.
Yeah, it was good. I would like to really hear the commentary on this. I would love to hear some behind the scenes thing, just because. So maybe just see if some things that we talked about might be there. Did it break new ground? Just in a sense, familiarity with a little bit of swerve is very enjoyable.
Do you swerve when you drive, Raven Shadow?
Since I would have rib pains. Yeah. Yeah. It was some bad days, Wolfie.
Well, I was talking about Swerve Strickland, but okay. Well.
Yeah, no, I was just talking about real life.
Oh, shit. All right. So for me, I really dug this. I think it's a really sort of, it was said earlier, powder keg. Like, they do a really good job of kind of putting all these elements together and then kind of watching what happens. It's sort of like I said, putting all these ingredients in and then just kind of blending them up and, all right, let's see what it tastes like. It's actually, it's pretty good, actually, Oh, pretty good, eh?
Sure, pretty good. Can I have some more?
So that's kind of how it all sort of went for me. I liked it. I think the good direction. I could see, we didn't really talk much about the Evil Dead connection, but I could see this dude doing an Evil Dead movie. I mean, there wasn't a lot of horror in this, if at all, but there's tension. There's a little bit of violence, and I could see him telling like a Evil Dead story kind of like this. Imagine people in one location, like being put in like, in this case it would be a diner. Let's say the Evil Dead diner, and
That's good. But I gotta say, Wolfie, like, you mean like a cabin in the woods?
no,
Like,
no, not at all like that. No.
Not that one, but like, weren't the first 2 Evil Deads in one location?
Yeah, but they all knew each other. Or except for, I guess, Evil Dead 2, there is like the couple that comes that like is local to the cabin that comes there. But I was talking about like these disparate elements of like people who bring their own sort of like baggage to a situation and how that all goes. But regardless, we're talking about this movie, and I think that it's a really good crime thriller.
Yeah.
And it's got some cool characters. It's got some great performances. It's got a few surprises.
Yep. And
it does a lot of similar things that we've seen before, but in a slightly different way. And I like the tagline. It's like it just kind of speaks to the fact that the knife salesman is like a different kind of character. And the tagline is never bring a knife salesman to a gunfight.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, on the poster. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. I like the sort of the themes that this movie plays with and makes me think about after seeing it. And I did like how it ended. I liked where it went. I liked how it ended, and I like a lot of the things that are brought about from all that stuff. So yeah, for me, this is a treat, and it is available on VOD. I think people will dig this. Yeah. I think you just got to be in the right mindset for it. If you're looking for something like a kind of crime thriller, then check it out. If you're not, don't. But if you want to see the director's first film, who's going to be doing one of the next Evil Dead movies, then it's definitely worth a view. I would say you guys had mentioned Quentin Tarantino. To me, this almost was maybe a little bit more Coen Brothers. And that's what made me think that Sam Raimi was like, oh, I like this, because, he's friends with the Coen Brothers and worked with them in the past. So that's sort of the vibe I got from it. Like, it wasn't as quirky and weird as a Coen Brothers movie, and it wasn't as like violent and verbose as a Quentin Tarantino movie. It had elements, yeah, sure. But this to me didn't really feel like a Quentin Tarantino movie, other than it had all these different characters in one location at one time with a lot of people having guns, like that's to me sort of where it goes.
And to be fair, I think it's fair to say we're all fans of Tarantino, but he didn't invent, multiple guns on multiple people in one scene.
Right.
It's become the go-to because of the most, and it's not a knock to Tarantino, but that's why I think you can see the homages in this and cherry pick where you think the influence came from.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, treat for me. So give it a look. The Last Stop in Yuma County. All right, let's see. I don't think we have any voice messages. This might be a record for the most episodes in a row where we haven't had one.
We had one last week or week before.
Let me see. I saved them all so I can look it up.
Let's play it again.
Let's see here. So, oh, you're right. We did have one last week. It was Jason the Joke Man.
It was.
How could I forget?
Oh, goddamn, pal.
That was a good one. Yeah. But I think it was a few episodes prior to that, maybe, or yeah, nothing 616. Oh, we did have one 615, so I guess I'm wrong. Fuck me, fuck me then. All right.
Well, we'll see what happens.
All right, so I see MZ is winding down. We need to wrap this up. So that is going to do it for our discussion. Now let's see what we're going to do next week. I just checked to see if anything came out new that we would move up the list, but no, I don't think so. So in that case, let's see. I think I want to do this one. Let me just see. There's another movie coming out soon. I just want to see what date that is, just to make sure it's not this upcoming week. Okay, so this one's coming out in June. Let's see. Okay, so I think it's coming out at the end of the month. Sorry, I'm just checking to make sure. Okay, yeah, so the one I was thinking, okay, so that one's not coming out till mid-June, so we will obviously hold off on that. Okay, so let's go with this one. So we are gonna do, yeah, okay, so we're gonna do next week, we will do the film Abigail.
The King Diamond biography?
Why didn't you push your grandmother down the stairs? I can't even do the fucking that high voice, Jesus. All right, so have you guys heard of this? Do you know anything about Abigail?
I've heard of it.
MZ?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it is directed by some former guests of the show. You guys remember Radio Silence, right?
Oh shit.
Matt Bettinelli Olpin and Tyler Gillette. There was a third one. I think he just does the production now on the films where these two handle the direction. But they, I think, are the only people we've had on the show that their careers have taken off as opposed to like stayed the same or gotten worse.
So they weren't impacted by our association.
They were not. Since we talked to them, because they did Southbound. These are the Southbound guys.
Oh yeah, that was fucking dope.
They did Ready or Not, which we did on the show.
Oh, enjoyed that.
Yep.
And then they did Scream, the 2022 Scream, and then they did Scream 6 in 2023. So I mean, that's huge, right? That's huge for them. So, and now they're doing this. And they had another. I think they're doing one of the Universal films. I think they were able to get one of the upcoming Universal remakes or requels or whatever the fuck they're called. So these guys have definitely taken a step forward and are kind of in demand in terms of horror. So we're gonna do the film Abigail. Now, if you guys haven't seen a trailer, I would advise not watching one.
Nice.
I know you guys typically don't, but that's for the listeners as well. If you haven't seen a trailer, just don't. Because there's some stuff in the trailer that I feel has to be a spoiler. Or if you don't know something, I feel like it'll be a lot more impactful. So if you haven't seen a trailer yet, don't go out of your way to see one. But we will do the horror film Abigail from Radio Silence. We'll do that next week.
And I heard they were going to make an Evil Dead movie.
They might.
In the future.
They might. And our pal DJT, he says, no more Mr. Knife Guy is pure brilliance, Raven Shadow.
Yeah, boy.
And then he said, wild turkeys are the biggest dick birds on the planet.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty good drink, right, Raven Shadow?
Yeah, I mean, I have a better time telling you what I don't drink, but yeah, sure. I'll fucking see what happens.
All right, so I think that's going to do it. So next week, Abigail, check it out. It's on VOD. and would love to hear some thoughts. I know Angry Townsman asked us if we were going to be doing this because he was hoping we would. So there you go, Angry.
Such a brother. I would love to hear from him next week.
Yeah, Angry, if you hear this, send in a voice message. Let us know what you think. All right, let's wrap it up. Anything else, Raven Chat, or are you good?
Not really. I'm good.
All right, MZ, let's wrap it up.
All right. Arrivederci, douchebags.
All right, Raven Shadow.
Live fast, love hard, die with your mask on.
I still don't understand why you're telling people to die, but it's cool. Whatever.
It's a fucking Brat Pack reference. It means like dying with your boots on. Like it means like go out being a hero, dog. Like go out swinging.
Right.
I've told Joey Tron, like, when my time comes, put my fucking boots on, dude.
All right. Put your boots on. Knowing your luck, you'll only be able to find fucking furry slippers or something.
Live fast, love hard, die with your slippers on.
There you go. That's better. All right. Well, that's going to do it. So we appreciate you guys tuning in for big old episode 618. And next week, as we just mentioned, we'll be doing the film Abigail. So if you guys want to get a voice message in, if you've seen it, send it to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. We would love to hear from you guys. Love to hear what people think about the movie. And don't watch your trailer if you haven't done so yet, because you probably want to go in cold on this one. I haven't seen it yet, but I can only imagine that, yeah, what they show in the trailer. I'm like, why would they show this? Because even the synopsis doesn't even mention it.
I miss old school trailers, like, you know, like in a world like this. I don't know, man. It's too fucking much. I'm with MZ on this one.
Yeah. I think I'm coming around too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it. Thanks, guys. What's that, MZ?
I said it's about time.
Because MZ did hear on the news about that. So, all right. Well, that's going to do it. So appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you next week. I don't know. But yeah, put some fuzzy slippers on and have some fun. See ya.
Yeah.